due to weather situations, it's a good thing that for those that were able to make it, cool. But be careful on the way home. We do have a lot of bad weather, and we're not prepared citywide to deal with snow freezes and frost and stuff like that. We don't have a good system of de-icing and thawing the highways. But shalom, Israel.
Shalom.
We want to welcome you to another class of isbhpk San Antonio. First and foremost, we want to give a shout out to our brothers, isbhpk Houston, Norfolk, Virginia, Rochester, New York, Cabo Cobb, down in Guatemala.
Dropping phenomenal classes.
Great classes, history and prophetic relevance. Amiathia and brothers in California and Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Yes, sir.
We want to say shalom, and all the new listeners that tune in. We want to say shalom to you too. Shalom.
Wow.
So we want to keep it going, as much as possible. So with that, we want to finish up a topic that we started last Wednesday about marriage, about how to make the marriage last. And I know last week we kind of went into what is the Most High's perspective of a marriage, what is the Most High's point of view of a marriage, what does He want from us. But now we're going to kind of get into, last week was kind of the Most High's intention when He put a man and a woman together. What was He expecting from that union? And then today we're going to go into a little bit more into the intricacies of what does it take on a man's behalf and a woman's behalf to retain that union.
And you know what? I always hear people say, well, you know what? One thing about marriage is it never came with a book. I was a parent. There was never a book on how to be a parent. There was no book on how to be married. There was no book. I just lived my life. I looked up and I had these responsibilities.
Mm-hmm.
But is that true?
No, that's not true. Go to Jeremiah chapter 8, verse 21? Well, get that door real quick.
Yeah, we got it.
You said Jeremiah 8:21?
I believe. Hold on. Is that what he said? Read it distinctly?
8:21. Yeah.
Is that,
Yeah, for her.
No.
No, they read it.
Yeah.
I think Nehemiah 8:21.
Nehemiah must be Nehemiah 8:21. Get that? Yeah.
Yeah, I got it right here.
Hey, what's up, bro? How you doing?
How you doing, sir?
Appreciate that.
Okay.
Good to see you, sir.
I don't know how this goes, man.
Just take a seat. It's
Just
just
have
like
to see,
school.
get pen and paper.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get it for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got
Welcome,
you
bro.
back?
Just like y'all's outfit.
Hey, bro,
Hey,
like
like
y'all
yours
too.
too.
You can take your headpiece off, though. I know.
Yeah.
I know it's kind of cold out there. It was good seeing you, man.
Likewise, thank you.
Where you from, bro?
San Antonio.
Okay.
I was at the mall the other day, and Lamar, he was talking to me.
Oh, he's a good
I
man.
noticed he had a Bible, so
There
he
you
just started talking.
Awesome, man. Well, just so you know what we do, this is a Bible school.
Awesome.
We teach the Bible from Genesis, Revelation, straight up, straight clear. And it's about getting what the Most High's opinion is, what God's opinion is, what Christ's opinion is, and not our opinion, but what God says.
Amen.
So,
All right.
good to see you, brother.
Likewise, thank you very much, man. Bro, it's good to see you.
Yeah,
Appreciate
relax,
it.
Yeah. Nehemiah chapter 8, verse 8. Yeah.
Nehemiah chapter 8, verse 8.
Bible swap?
Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah. Like the Palladiums, man.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, hey, you recognize him.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I see you, man.
I appreciate it.
All right. Let's go.
Noticed.
Nehemiah chapter 8, verse 8.
You know how we swap, right, Mobile?
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah. You were saying, Dawiyat, about how some parents say, or early parents say, I had to figure things out on my own.
Maybe I tried.
The baby didn't come with instructions.
Huh?
I had a baby, but there were no instructions to the baby.
Yeah.
But what did the Most High say about that? Read this, Nehemiah 8 and 8.
Nehemiah chapter 8, verse 8.
Put some more bass, sir. A little louder.
So they read in the book and the law of the Most High distinctly.
They
Yes,
said
sir.
they read it how?
Distinctly.
So get that definition of distinctly or distinct. Get that definition. Whoever got it.
Distinctly.
Get that definition real quick. And shalom for everybody just tuning in online. Welcome, and the water for watching, and hopefully we can finish this class today also.
I remember, going to church, and I've been to a lot of weddings.
Mm-hmm.
Been to a lot of weddings. To have, to hold, to care, to love, to
Right.
cherish. That was all good.
For richer, for poor,
For
better,
ri-
better for worse.
Come.
Till death do you part.
To death do we part.
Mhm.
I was actually happy. Like, everybody's throwing rice. Everybody's happy.
Yeah.
Eating good soup. The little soup.
The woman throwing a little garter belt.
Mhm.
You know, throwing it for the women. Hopefully they catch it so they can get married. Or the men catching the bouquet. Hopefully they catch a bouquet. They catch their next wife. All these traditions. You know what I'm saying? But like you said, people may say, you know, marriage and romance relationships doesn't come with instructions. But read this right here, Nehemiah chapter 8 verse 8. Read that.
Nehemiah chapter 8 verse 8. So they read in the book and the law of the Most High distinctly,
Read on.
and gave the sense and caused them to understand the reading.
The problem is some of us don't understand the Bible and we don't understand the sense that it makes, so we don't use it as a necessary tool for life. Now, what's the definition of distinct?
Distinct, clear, plain.
All right, Karai had it first. What you got?
It says not identical, not the same, also clearly, also clear by sense.
But it's clear. So if you read the Bible will actually be very clear to you. It'll be very clear to you on what it takes to maintain a relationship, how to raise children, how to pick a person, a partner, to have a child with. But sometimes the Bible, because it's very difficult, is written in Old English, and a lot of times we get more tradition than we get the word of the Most High. We don't understand the Bible.
Can I say this right here?
Mhm.
And I remember the tradition being when you watch those good old, you know, like if you're Judah or you're the so-called Negro, you watch those black films and they're jumping the broom.
Yeah, throwing in some Kwanzaa in the mix. Yeah, jumping the broom. Yeah, but those are just ceremonies. That's not the instruction of a marriage. But when you look at what the Most High has to offer, the Most High is telling us that if we read the laws of the Most High, He'll give us exactly what details are necessary with clarity on how to choose the right person, what to look for in a person, and what does it take to maintain a relationship. And when you do have children, or the fruit of the marriage, the fruit of your body, how do you train them up? What do you teach them? What do you show them? How do you instruct them? What do you do with them? Matter of fact, go to on that point real quick. Let me see something real quick. Go to Psalm 78 real quick.
So Psalms chapter 78.
Mm-hmm.
Psalms chapter 78.
78.
And once again,
Somebody read that real quick.
What verse? I'm sorry.
Start at verse 1.
Psalms chapter 78
Start at
and verse 1.
1 through 8. Read 1 through 8. Read that.
Verse 1. Give ear, O my people, to my law.
And same thing we just read in Nehemiah, right? If you read the law, somebody will be able to break it down and give you and make the sense of what you're reading. So there's a lot of sense in the Bible. There's a lot of understanding in the Bible, but you have to read it. You have to become acquainted with it. Read on.
Incline your ears to the words of my mouth.
And so you got to pay attention to the words that comes out of the Most High's mouth if you want to get the understanding from it.
Okay.
Read on.
I will open my mouth in a parable.
Go ahead. And that's the hard part. Parables are certain wisdom that really aren't, the understanding of it is more allegorical. It's more of a story, but it has a moral, ethical meaning behind it. Read on.
I will utter dark sayings of old.
And this is what makes it difficult to understand the Bible. People don't understand the parables or the dark sayings. Read on.
Which we have heard and known, and our fathers have told us.
But who told you the understanding of these dark parables and these dark sayings and these parables? Your fathers tell you.
Our fathers.
Your fathers are supposed to be able to disseminate the understanding of the Bible to you so that you can understand it. So as you grow up, you can use the same principles, same morals, same ethics, same discretionary measures to choose a mate and a partner. Read on.
So I was supposed to learn this from my father?
Yes, from my father. Kind. Absolutely. Read on.
Verse 4. We will not hide them from their children.
It said we will not do what?
Hide them from their children.
You're not supposed to do what with the Bible?
Hide them from their children.
You're not supposed to hide the laws of the Most High from your children. So when you do have children, what are you supposed to be getting your children acquainted with? The laws of the Most High. Not tradition, not Easter egg bunnies and Santa Claus and reindeers and elves and leprechauns. These are not, you'll never find that in the Bible. We're supposed to be getting people acquainted with the laws of the Most High, and it should be coming from your father. Those are the ones that should be training you and raising you up. Read on.
Showing to the generation to come.
And what is your father supposed to do?
Showing to the generation.
They're supposed to be showing you to the generation to come. Go ahead.
The praises of the Lord.
Why is it important that you pray to the Most High? Why is it so important that you depend on the Most High? Why is it so important that you look up to the Lord for everything in your life? But because we don't do that, because we haven't done that, we haven't seen the benefits of praising the Most High. And then comes the divorce, and then comes the separation, and then comes the child support, and then comes the non-custodial versus the custodial parent.
Like I say now,
Yeah.
even now, and then comes, I hate to say it, but you have higher suicide rates because of these divorces also.
Yep.
A lot of people have a hard time coping with that break, financially and mentally.
Yep. God. Read on.
And his strength and his wonderful works that he hath done. For he established a testimony in Jacob
Go ahead.
and appointed a law in
What
Israel.
verse you on?
Verse 5, sir.
Read on.
Which he commanded our fathers.
Read on.
That they should make them known to their children.
And you're supposed to make this law known to who?
Their children.
So the problem is that there is an instruction manual. There is a set of instructions. There's laws that the Most High has set up that we ignore, that nobody bothered to read. We knew more about cartoons
That's true.
than we did actually. We knew that what time the Smurfs come on. We knew what time the Transformers come on, Thundercats. And if you were younger than that, or you probably remember
G.I. Joe.
the G.I. Joe. Yeah, if you're a little older than that, G.I. Joe.
Hong Kong Fooey, Wonder Friends.
Y'all don't know about Hong Kong Fooey. I knew Ren and Stimpy. That was about the last.
Yeah,
that was about the last of my cartoon days. Then there's Family Guy, and then of course the Simpsons have kind of transferred throughout generations. But we knew more about cartoons than we knew scriptures.
Okay.
We knew more songs and sports than we knew understanding and wisdom from the Most High. Read on.
Verse 6. That the generation to come might know them, even the children which should be born.
Even the children that should be what?
Born.
So is there instructions to life?
God.
Yes. And who's supposed to teach it to us?
Father.
Our fathers. Did they teach us the laws of God?
Lie.
There's over 613 laws in the Bible. We don't even know barely 10. We didn't, because you know why? Nobody understood it. Nobody took the time to read it enough to get the understanding to pass it down to us, to show us that there's a benefit to praising the Lord. And also that you can have strength and confidence and courage, and the Most High will build you up as a person with edification, meaning moral integrity, intellectual thoughts. You become a better person all around. You become a well-rounded individual.
Character.
Better character. But when you take this away from a child, then what are you left with? A follower. A follower of people. A follower of different groups, whether they be the athletes, the jocks, the skaters, the party guys, the drinkers, the alcoholics, the weed heads. They just fall into certain groups that already exist.
Like I said, Sue, and you can see that dichotomy clearly online. That's what our algorithm is. Your algorithm on your phone, when it comes to YouTube, when it comes to what you follow on social media, is just who you're liking. I like this, I like that, and they give you a whole list of all the subjects and personality figures you follow. Everybody's asking to be followed.
Because they're watching you watch the internet, and so they know how to funnel you and connect you to like-minded individuals, which keeps your interest there, which allows them to sell more advertisements. Read on.
That the generation to come might know them.
Okay.
Even the children.
Go ahead.
I want to pull one scripture real quick. I'm not going to interrupt the class. 2 Timothy 4 and 3. 2 Timothy chapter 4, verse 3.
Somebody get it.
2 Timothy, right?
2 Timothy chapter 4, verse 3.
2 Timothy 4 and verse 3. For the time will come when they will not endure sound doctrine.
The Most High prophesied in the Bible there's going to be a time when people are not going to have the ability to listen to sound doctrine, meaning what makes sense. This is a male, this is a female, this is a mommy, this is a daddy. This is how you deal with your people, this is how you deal with your family, this is how you deal with yourself. Read on.
But after their own lusts shall they heap to themselves teachers.
They shall heap what?
Themselves teachers.
They're gonna heap to themselves teachers. Everybody's collecting different sources of information. Read on.
Having itching ears.
Everybody wants to hear what somebody's opinion is and what somebody's philosophy is, but they're not getting the scriptures. That's the problem, right?
God. And like he said, according to their lust, like he read, people cater to other people that help, agree, not be different from their liking. I don't want anybody to tell me that I'm wrong. So I just put myself around people that will not tell me that I'm wrong. I just put myself around people that likes to do what I do. We all like to do the same thing. So nobody's going to stop me from my lust. And that's what we want to hear. We'd rather hear that than actual sound doctrine. Let that go. Finish that in verse 7.
Psalms chapter 78 and verse 7. That they might see their hope in the Most High.
It says the reason why you teach your children is for what purpose?
That they might set their hope in the Most High.
That they might set their hope in the Most High. You want your children, your sons, your daughters, you want your cousins, your nieces, your nephews, you want all your family members to be able to depend on who?
On the Most High.
You want all your family, all your relatives, your uncles, your aunts, you want everybody to learn how to do what? Set their hope in who?
The Most High.
But you got to read the Bible in order to do that.
Okay.
There is an instruction manual to life, but you got to read it first, and and it's free. That's what's so crazy about it. The Bible don't cost nothing. Mm-hmm. You can download it for free. Every hotel has one, and every church will give you one. Mm-hmm. And so we bypass the free information that the Most High has provided to give us strength and to give us hope and confidence, no matter what is happening in this day and age. Read on.
And not forget the works of the Most High.
Read on.
But keep His commandments.
Go ahead.
And might not be as their fathers, a stubborn and rebellious generation.
If you're going to be a parent and you're going to tell your kid, I don't want you to be like me, I want you to be better than me. What's one way you can guarantee your child will be better than you? Say it again.
Be the proper example.
He said right here. He says, but keep the commandments and might not be as their fathers. So you give your children a better chance of life than what you had because you lived life without the commandments. And we know Hosea 4:6 says what? My people are destroyed for what?
Lack of knowledge.
Lack of knowledge. So although you may have destroyed your life, and you got one lung, you got kidney failure, and you're on dialysis, and you got all these things going, all these problems, because you smoke and drink yourself to a crisp.
Vegetable.
There's hardly anything left. Your kidney, your organs dried up. All these things are wrong. But the only opportunity your kids have to come out better than you is to do what? Read that part again, verse 8.
And might not be as their fathers, a stubborn and rebellious generation.
So no amount of money is going to change that. No amount of money is going to change the outcome of your children.
Wow.
No amount of financial stability is going to change the outcome of their decision.
That's the hope. Most parents, the hope is we're going one level up the ladder of the socioeconomic ladder.
We're going to put them in college, and we're going to hope that college saves them. College is where they learn more lust.
Debauchery.
College is where they
experiment even more.
They haze you, and you become a part of a whole different fraternity.
Yeah.
Organization.
Go.
They teach you on a whole nother level of wickedness.
You gotta find yourself, brother.
Yeah, man. You're brand new at knowing who you are. You coming in there impressionable, gullible, naive. That's like going from 8th grade to 9th grade. Same thing. You coming in there naive, you don't know nobody, and somebody will just take you under their wing. And they're gonna say, "This is what we do. These are the girls we talk to. This is where we sit at for lunch. This is what we do after school. We smoke a little this. We do this. Then this is what people. Somebody's gonna groom you.
Yeah.
Somebody's gonna groom you. But if you want your children to be groomed correctly, give them the best chance possible. Read verse 8.
Psalms chapter 78 and verse 8. And might not be as their fathers, a stubborn and rebellious generation.
Go ahead.
A generation that set not their heart aright.
Their mind wasn't what?
Aright.
Our parents, the reason why they didn't last in a relationship, the reason why they're on their second and third marriage, is because they didn't have instructions. That's why you had stepdaddies and stepmommies.
Real.
Because they didn't have the right instructions. And they didn't have the right mind frame. Read on.
And whose spirit was not steadfast with the Most High.
And their spirit was not what?
Steadfast with the Most High.
So that's the issue. So yeah, if I don't train my children to connect with the Most High and to make their spirit steadfast. Steadfast means immovable. My children are in trouble. My family is in trouble. My people are in trouble. The best shot you got to give your children is the development and the encouragement of getting them to focus on the Most High and training them up in discipline and wisdom. That's the best opportunity we have. There's no guarantee. There's no guarantee the children are going to come out doing things better than you. They're going to fall right. They're going to follow. Sometimes unconsciously, they're going to follow right behind your footsteps and become just like you. They'll drink the same alcohol. They'll smoke the same whatever you're smoking. They'll do whatever you're doing, subconsciously sometimes, because they only learn it from watching.
They have the same curiosities.
Yep. And they got the same flighty quitter mentality. So the best that we can offer our children is to train them up in the Bible. It's the best shot they got. All right. So there is instructions to marriage. There is instructions to relationships. We just don't pursue it. Neither do we understand where it comes from. All right. So let's go to 1 Peter chapter 3. Now to kind of finish up where we were last week. Last week we were talking about, the class last week is about what does the Most High require in a marriage. What does He require? What does the Most High look for in a marriage? What does the Most High consider a marriage? And how long it's supposed to last? Anybody remember how the Most High initially set up a marriage and how long it was supposed to last?
Forever.
It was supposed to last for a lifetime. When you created a relationship and got into a relationship, the relationship was supposed to last for life. That's why Christ said there was in the beginning there was no such thing as a divorce. There's no such thing as multiple partners. As far as I'm gonna just quit one, bounce and give up and go to the next one. If this didn't work, there's plenty of fish in the sea. I'm just gonna keep bouncing around.
I'm going back to my high school sweetheart.
Yeah.
Going back.
So that it was intended that once you marry, hey, you settle down and create a life. Create a life in the Most High. So we're gonna finish up where we started at last week. About any questions so far? Any questions on? I don't know. Some of us were here last week, some not. Some of this information may be brand new. Yes, sir.
About like being in a relationship, because I remember thinking like how Batman, he wasn't. I mean, he liked Catwoman, but he wasn't in a relationship with her, and that's why he was so pure, so heroic. You know what I mean? That's why it confuses me. Like God is so righteous, and he never got into a relationship with a woman. Is that what it takes to like be a Holy Spirit?
Yeah,
to not intertwine yourself with the battles of that sexual deviance and.
Man, I wish you were here last week, man, because it's perfect. What you're saying is perfect. Let's pick up right on your question in 1 Corinthians chapter 7. I like how you looked at. Do you have to be married? Yeah. 1 Corinthians chapter 7, and get we might have to backtrack just a little bit. Let's get 7 and start let me get start at verse 32.
1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 32. There we go.
Yeah, start right now.
Okay. 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 32. But I would have you without carefulness.
He said, I would have you without carefulness. Now, that word carefulness means anxiety or anxious. or security. So what he's saying is the Most High doesn't want us. He doesn't want us to be insecure as in who we are, as whether we're single or whether we are in a relationship. The Most High doesn't want us to be insecure or anxious. Read on.
It says, "He that is unmarried careth for the things that belong to the Lord."
He says, if you don't have a woman, that doesn't make you a bad person. The Most High is not looking at you as an insecure person or a bad person because you're not married. That is not how the Most High looks at a single individual. The Most High, just so you know, and this is why he's putting this in the Bible, it's just so you can understand that a man that is single, that is not a bad thing, because guess where he can put the majority of his emphasis?
For the things of the Lord.
Where can he put his mind?
For the things of the Lord.
Where can he dedicate his time to?
The things that belong to the Lord.
So it's not a bad thing, and a man shouldn't be insecure, or he shouldn't be anxious like, when am I going to get a woman? Don't worry about all that. Don't worry about when you're going to get a woman. That shouldn't be your focus. And if you don't have one, you shouldn't be looking at everybody like, man, maybe I'm less than, or maybe I'm not as good as. Don't worry about all that. That's why it says he don't want you to be with this insecure thought process because you're single. That's not the mindset the Most High wants you to think. He wants you to look at the beauty of it. There is some beauty in it. What's the beauty in it?
He that is unmarried careth for the things that belong to the Lord.
You can put your mind on the Most High. Read on.
How he may please the Lord.
How you may do what?
Please the Lord.
So that's more one-on-one time you got with the Most High. So that's not a bad thing. The problem is that if you are single, don't waste that opportunity.
True.
Don't just be single and do nothing.
Yeah.
If you're gonna be single, then take that time to connect. Use that time to study. Use that time to pray. Use that time to make a relationship with the Most High. Don't make that time in vain. Don't waste that time. Give it to the Most High. Read on.
Verse 33.
Yeah.
Okay. But he that is married careth for the things that are of the world.
And he'll explain what does that mean when you're married and you're care for the things of the world. Read on.
How he may please his wife.
Where's your mind gonna be at?
His wife.
What a married man's mind is gonna be on what?
His wife.
What's she gonna say when I get home? What problems are there? What bills I have? What do I have to do? The honey-do list, or places she wants to go, things she wants to do, food she wants to eat, a schedule she wants to keep. She want her hair done, she want her nails done, she want the new purses, she want the new outfit, whatever the case may be. Now you gotta sustain her desires. You gotta sustain her desire, and that neither are bad. Being married is not bad. That's not evil being married. It's not wicked being married. That's why he said in verse 28. Read verse 28.
1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 28. It says, "But and if thou marry, thou hast not sinned."
He said, but if you marry, thou hast not what?
Sinned.
It's not a bad thing if you're married. You're not a sinner because you get married.
I didn't miss the mark because I got married.
There's something that we read last week about chastity. Somebody had that definition of chastity.
I have a definition.
Read that.
Chastity, abstaining from sexual relations, or morality with respect to sexual relations.
And that's what a virgin is. Read verse 25.
1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 25. Now concerning virgins, I have
a virgin is somebody who keeps their moral chastity, or they maintain their chastity. How does the Most High look at a person that maintains their chastity? Go to 2nd Ezra, that's in the Apocrypha. This is the red book right here, the Apocrypha. Go to 2nd Ezra, that's in the Apocrypha. Tell them what page it is, 6 and 32.
6 and 32.
maybe 21.
Page 21 if you got the red book. If you got the red Apocrypha.
And quick little breakdown, not long. It's right here. When we have new students, we always break this down. This is a 1611 King James Bible. 1611 was the first year the Bible came out, as far as being printed, from Greek, Hebrew, and Latin, and English. Bottom line, the Bible has 3 sections, not 2. We're used to Old Testament, New Testament. But in the original Bible, there's three sections. You're reading that third section. I'm gonna show you right quick. I'm not gonna make it long. 1611 to 1885, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So the Bible had three sections from the year 1611 to the year 1885. It was taken out by the Catholics, you know, because they just decided what they want to, what they think is right and wrong.
What they consider canonical or non-canonical.
Based on what they think the Pope says, what the Pope says, right?
Right.
Here you go, sir. So you see how this is Old English? Genesis, Malachi, Matthew, Revelations. That section right there is original. They pulled it out. This is about 13, 14 books.
And that's why the word apocrypha means hidden books.
All right.
That's what the word means. The word means hidden books because it was taken out, and a lot of us didn't realize the wisdom that was in it because the Catholics said, "Nah, this is non-canonical. This is not divinely inspired." So no man should do that anyway. But read this right here, 2nd Ezra, page 21, chapter 6, verse 32.
2nd Ezra chapter 6, verse 32. For thy voice is heard before the Most High.
The Most High watches you. He watches you all the time. And also the Most High is listening to your voice. Read on.
For the mighty has seen thy righteous dealing.
It says, for the mighty have seen thy righteous dealings. Go ahead.
He has seen also thy chastity.
It says the Most High is also watching your what?
Chastity.
And what's that definition of chastity?
It says, chastity, it says, abstaining from sexual relations, morality with respect to sexual relations.
So the Most High, he's looking at how you choose to remain morally pure. And there's nothing wrong with that. The Most High is watching your chastity for how long? Read on.
Which thou hast had ever since thy youth.
Which thou hast had ever since your what?
Thy youth.
And so if you choose to retain your virginity, is the Most High have a problem with that? No. Is the Most High, are you wicked for that? No. As a matter of fact, the Most High is acknowledging that. He's acknowledging your chastity. He's acknowledging your virgin. He's acknowledging the fact that you're keeping your purity and that you're abstaining from sexual relations. If you're married, it's not a problem. So you're not wicked if you're married. But you know what? You got more time to focus on the Most High if you're not married. But if this is real critical. Verse 27, 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 27.
1 Corinthians
You let that
chapter
go.
7, verse 27. It says, art thou bound unto a wife?
But if you got a wife, go ahead.
Seek not to be loose.
Problem is
That's
sometimes,
important. That's important.
yeah, this is critical because sometimes men that got women, they don't want women no more. They want to be single. There's a problem with that. What? Then you should have remained what? Then you should have remained a virgin. You should have kept your chastity. Why go get married and then now don't want them? And that's what the second part of this marriage topic class is really about also as well. So he said if you got a wife, don't be looking to cut her off. Read on.
Art thou loosed from a wife?
And if you're a single man, read on.
Seek not a wife.
Then you don't be hunting down a woman either. It's not. But if you find one, there's nothing wrong with that. Read on.
Verse 28. And if thou marry, thou hast not sinned.
Go ahead.
And if a virgin marry, she hath not sinned.
Go ahead.
Nevertheless, such shall have trouble in the flesh.
It says now, when you do get married, marriage comes with what?
Trouble in the flesh.
It does come with some troubles.
Trouble in the flesh.
Marriage comes. Trouble. Trouble. So marriage does come with some trouble. You know, the trouble is the things that it takes to meet in the minds. It takes some compromise. It takes some unity. And it takes some submission. And it takes humility. And it takes some listening, some conversation, and some understanding. It takes a lot of things. Marriage don't work just because you think it works because the person is pretty. That doesn't make a marriage work. All that goes down the drain because there's a lot of unpretty sides and uncomely and unattractive sides to people also. That facade and that aesthetics go right out the window when you're with a person. You don't even see what it is that you fell in love. All you know is they get on your nerves. You don't even see the initial first thing that made you connect with this person. Yes, sir.
It also takes a lot of patience.
Bro, patience is an understatement. So, just to help answer your question, does that help answer your question?
It kind of more solidifies my point. So it's like, I'm not hating on the opposite sex, but it's just gonna distract you from being that pure spirit that seeks God. You know what I mean?
And there's nothing wrong with that. Go to Wisdom of Solomon in the same apocrypha. Go to Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 3, verse 14.
Can you say a question a little louder so the camera can hear it?
The same one that I said?
Yeah. It's just so people, because I don't think people can hear it.
Oh,
You said, what was it, Solomon?
so
Wisdom of Solomon 3:14.
it was like,
Or your last statement.
it kind of more like,
This is why you wanted to concentrate on.
yeah, I just feel like I agree with, people being in a relationship, but I feel like exactly how y'all explained it. It's distracting, it's challenging, it causes you to be insecure, and that is only taking you away from God. You know what I mean? And like Batman, you know what I mean? He's a hero. He's not distracted by lust. He's not distracted by temptations of this world. He's saving the world because he's more focused. I would say on God, but like he doesn't have that distraction of a woman.
He's focused on his mission.
Yeah.
But sometimes, not trying to change the class up at all. Sometimes men find other things that become their quote unquote.
Yeah.
Men will find distraction.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I like what you're saying about Batman, but think about it. Who killed Batman's father? The Joker.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if Batman didn't have a mother and father, there wouldn't be no Batman.
Yeah.
So you needed a marriage to bring Batman to the table. You know what I'm saying? We wouldn't be reading about Batman if he didn't have parents. You know what I'm saying? So I understand where you're coming from, but marriage is a necessity for that reason, to bring about procreation.
Genesis?
Say it again.
Genesis is not good enough.
No, yeah, that's cool. I mean, just on the point of being single, let's read this right here. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 3, verse 14.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 3, verse 14. It says, "And blessed is the eunuch."
A eunuch is a man who is cut himself off from sexual pleasure or sex, either by choice or by force. Now, if you were made a eunuch during slave times, that means that you were castrated. That means you couldn't make it happen with a woman if you wanted to, because you were castrated. Because some men were made by eunuchs, some men were made eunuchs by force, some men were made eunuchs by choice, meaning they started off free and able to marry, but they chose not to. And then some, the Most High says, there's 3 types of eunuchs. Some men were born eunuchs. Some men had men be eunuchs from the time they were born. It wasn't never meant for them to be married. They had a mission from the Most High. But he says what? Read it again.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 3, verse 14. "And blessed is the eunuch which with his hands hath wrought no iniquity."
And it says, with his hands have wrought no iniquity. Read on.
"Nor imagine wicked things against the Most High.
Go ahead.
For unto him shall be given the special gift of faith."
It says the Most High said that he gives the eunuch, a person that separates themselves from sex, the special gift of what?
Faith.
Faith. Read on.
It says, "And an inheritance in the temple of the Lord, more acceptable to his mind."
It says this kind of man is closer to him because the way his mind is pure. This man's mind is not defiled. His mind is not split 50-50 between pleasing his flesh and pleasing the Most High. There's no battle between, am I looking for some sexual healing or some sexual satisfaction, or am I looking to please the Most High? The Most High said that man has a mind more pleasing to his own. So there's nothing wrong. So I say there's nothing wrong if a man chooses to be unmarried. That's not a problem. He's not against the law. You know what I'm saying? But today's class is about marriage and how to make it last. This is for those who are married or who choose to be married.
Can I say this too?
Mm-hmm.
And it's good to know this for the time when you do get married. Because sometimes we learn as we go, on the job learning, right? So it's good to know these concepts because, sometimes you ain't going to be eunuch forever. It might not be tomorrow, but you're going to look up.
or you're trying to get back with that person that you've been with for years, so you need to know how to do it right the next time around, kind of thing.
Absolutely, absolutely, because that's called reconciliation. And in a marriage, reconciliation is allowed. You can reconcile your differences and get back together. You know what I'm saying? So that is possible.
That's the confusing part, though, man. It's like, if you're with a woman, you're gonna be tempted by her. You know what I mean? And it's hard to stay a disciplined human being. You know what I mean? And close to God. That's,
Yeah.
I mean, especially if you're living with her.
Yeah.
You should be walking around all day.
You know?
I mean, them thoughts are gonna come in your head, you know, manipulating your mind and spirit. And I realize, you know, you disconnect from that sexual lust, you're more spiritually connected, and that is beautiful. You know what I mean? And I'd rather that. It's lonely, but God fills the cup in the end. You know what I mean? If you just hang in there, it's confusing to me.
Well, we'd have to sit down on a different time and really hear your whole story. You know what I'm saying?
We love to do it.
And we love to do it. Listen to your whole story and listen to everything that you are bringing out, you know, because it may not be for everybody's ears to hear your personal situation that you've been going through, but most definitely there's answers and there's solutions to it. And you're not alone in that. And there's a wise direction and approach to take on how to make this happen and make it work. If for the future, or like you said, to rekindle the old flames if you're trying to get back with this person. So cool. Let's go to 1 Peter chapter 3 verse 4. So now we're getting back to finishing up from last week's topic of marriage, making it last, and what it takes. So let's go to 1 Peter chapter 3 verse 4.
1 Peter chapter 3 verse 4.
Start at verse 3.
1 Peter chapter 3.
No, man, we gotta start at verse 1. I'm sorry.
And verse 1.
Yeah.
Likewise, ye wives, be in subjection to your own husband.
It says, wives, be in what?
Subjection to your own husband.
So if you are married and you have a husband, you have to be in subjection to who?
Your husbands.
Your husbands. That's your husband. You gotta subject yourself. You gotta put yourself in submission. You know, that's the union that the Most High put together. The Most High said it's a mystery how a man shall leave his mother and father and cleave unto his wife, and they twain shall become one flesh. The Most High is looking at you two as a couple, as a union, as a partnership, which we explained last week. Read on.
That if any obey not the word, they also may without the word be won by the conversation of the wives.
And it's about influence. It's about controlling the influence around your wife. That the husband should have the dominant influence over the wife. Read on.
While they behold your chaste conversation coupled with fear.
So that chaste conversation is morally correct. They could hear the morals and the discretion coming out of your conversation. Read on.
Whose adorning, let it not be that outward adorning.
And a wife shouldn't care so much about how she looks so much on the outside, more so than what?
Outward adorning of plaiting the hair.
Braiding the hair. Go ahead.
And of wearing of gold.
Jewelry. How come you didn't buy me a ring? You know, I don't got the diamond that so and so got at work. How come you so and so bought her a necklace for Valentine's Day? Now you want this. You're not looking at other people and looking at, okay, well, so and so is decking themselves out, so I feel more feminine because I got jewelry on. A woman's value is not on the exterior. It's not on the exterior. Read on.
Or a putting on of apparel.
Go ahead. Or what clothes? Women like to go shopping, and they like to look good. But that's not what makes a woman. Those are not the qualities of a married woman that stands out in the eyes of the Most High. It's not the dress code. It's not the jewelry. It's not the hair. Read on.
Verse 4. But let it be the hidden man of the heart, and that which is not corruptible, even the ornament of a meek and quiet spirit.
It says the decoration that the Most High is expecting from a woman is a what? What is she decorating herself with?
A meek and quiet spirit.
It says a meek. Definition of meek is what? Anybody?
To endure injury.
You got to speak up.
To endure injury without resentment.
To endure injury without resentment. Because being married comes with troubles. And you're going to have issues. But you can't take the issues personal to where it ruins the marriage. And that's why a marriage requires meekness. You have to put on the capacity to endure a lot of suffering.
So maturity, a wife has to be mentally mature enough to handle a relationship.
If she expects it to last. Because they both come with their offenses. They both come with their troubles, like Paul said. Read on.
Even the ornament of a meek and quiet spirit, which
So she's meek. She can endure injury without resentment, without hating her man, her husband, without looking at him like he's the blame for all her problems. Read on.
All dooms out.
which is in the sight of the Most High of great price.
And he says, which is in the sight of the Most High a great price. Where else do we find this at? Go to Ecclesiastes chapter 26 and read verse 4. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can let that go for now.
Ecclesiasticus 26 and 4?
Yes, sir.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 26 and verse 4.
What he's explained is what makes a wife valuable in the sight of the Most High. Where is her value? Where is her worth? Where is she looked at and esteemed as gaining as attractive to the Most High? How is she putting herself out there in a marriage or relationship on display to where the Most High can take pleasure and honor it and bless it? How is she carrying herself? She's meek and she's quiet. It's 26 and 14.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 26 and verse 4.
14.
14, I'm sorry about that. Verse 14. A silent and loving woman.
A woman that knows how to keep her mouth what?
Silent and loving.
And she knows how to love, even though she can endure being grieved, troubled, offended. She still knows how to contain herself. She said a silent and loving woman, go ahead,
is a gift of the Most High.
That's a gift of the Lord. Read on.
And there is nothing so much worth as a mind well instructed.
And a woman that could receive instruction, that means that her worth is priceless. A woman that you can teach, a woman that you can develop, a woman that you can instruct. This is what makes her value priceless. It's not the gold she has on. It's not the Jimmy Choo shoes. It's not the outfit. It's not the Michael Kors purse. It's not the Louis Vuitton. These things. It's not the braided hair. It's not the beads and the gold braids and the lace front wigs.
Or her natural beauty.
It ain't none of that. What makes a woman valuable is the fact that she can contain her mouth, even while being offended, and still turn around and love you. And not take the offenses to where she just wants to quit on you or give up or disrespect you. He said this is a priceless woman in the sight of the Most High. This is priceless. Read on.
It says, a shamefaced.
No, let me read that part. I get that last part. I'm sorry. I want to hit that last part. 26 and 14. He says, and there is nothing so much worth as a what?
A mind well instructed.
Well, a well-instructed mind doesn't have an opinion. She doesn't walk around with her own opinion and wanting to execute her own thought process. She's willing to receive instructions. She's open to receive instructions.
She's like an ornament. She's that's the jewel.
That's the jewel. That's the jewel, is the fact that she can be instructed. She can be taught. When you go to Colossians chapter 4, verse 6. Somebody go to Colossians chapter 4, verse 6.
Colossians chapter 4, verse 6. Maybe
Go ahead and read that.
Colossians chapter 4, verse 6. Walk in wisdom toward them that are without, redeeming the time. Colossians 4 and 6. It says, let your speech always be with grace.
Hold on. So what makes a woman really, really valuable is how she maintains the way she talks. A woman's ability to speak to a man, a husband, is very critical in the marriage. And if she's silent and loving, and she knows how to use meekness, and she's quiet, she's not easily offended, and she can talk to her husband correctly, This is what makes this woman's value out of this world. This is what makes her to be sought after. Read that one more time.
Colossians chapter 4, verse 6. Let your speech be always with grace.
Write this down, the definition of grace. What makes this woman valuable is the fact that her speech is always with grace. Definition of grace. The divine, especially the divine influence upon the heart. We're going to get many definitions, but this definition is from the Strong's. Grace, especially the divine influence upon the heart, comma, and its reflection in the life. Especially the divine influence upon the heart and its reflection in the life. Can anybody give me what that means? Tell me what that means.
You said divine affliction.
No, the whole definition. The divine influence upon the heart and its reflection in the life. Can anybody break that down?
It's like pure from within and out. No.
Yeah.
She's influenced by the Most High.
Yes. She's influenced by the Most High, and what else?
So it says divine influence in her heart, meaning she's influenced by the Most High in her mind. It says in its reflection in the life. So my influence is the Most High in the mind, and then when my actions reflect what's going on in my mind.
Absolutely. So a woman's value is in the fact that it's based upon how much she's influenced by the Most High, and she's reflecting that influence in her behavior and her speech. She can reflect in her speech how much she's being influenced by the Most High. This is what makes her valuable. It can be seen. We understand that?
Okay.
So now, read Colossians 4 and 6 one more time.
Colossians chapter 4, verse 6. Let your speech be always with grace, seasoned with salt, that ye may know how ye ought to answer every man.
And it's seasoned with what?
Salt.
And that salt represents what?
Flavor.
Flavor. It's aesthetically pleasing. It's acceptable. It's pleasing. So she knows how to talk and how to speak in a pleasing manner, and she knows how to answer every man. But in particular, who?
Her husband.
Her husband. Yes.
Also, salt is a cleaning agent. Like you can clean a wound with that. So clean and clear.
It's clean.
Purified.
It's pure. You know, it preserves. It's a preservative. So she knows how to speak in a manner that's pure to the husband, to where it pleases him, and the influence comes from the Most High, and that's where the source of her speech is coming from. The source of her mouth, her speech, is a direct reflection of her influence from the Father. You know if she's studying or not.
That's true.
You know if she prays or not. You know if her mind is on the Most High or not. Because it can be seen in the way she speaks. It can be reflected in that. That's how you know you're dealing with a woman who's speaking with grace. And this is what adds to her value. This is what it takes to maintain the marriage. Matter of fact, keep going. Go to 1 Peter 3 and 5. Just to prove this even more. Just to expound on this point even more. 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 5.
1 Peter chapter 3 and verse 5. When you're ready.
Mm-hmm.
For after this manner, in the old time,
It says, for after this manner, talking about women that knew how to speak. They knew how to deal with their husbands. Their conversation was pure. Their influence could be seen and heard from where they got their knowledge from by their speech. Read on.
holy women also, who trusted in the Most High.
It says these holy women also who did what?
Trusted in the Most High.
You know these women trusted in the Most High by the way they spoke.
Not in her friends, not in bad influences from the music she listens to.
Right, the influences.
Not from her past relationships.
Or television. Because a lot of times women get their news from Oprah. Oprah is a major influence to women.
She's ruined houses.
Or Wendy Williams.
Wendy Williams.
Mm-hmm.
Now, all these are influences. You know where she's getting her information from. You know where she's getting her knowledge from. You could tell whether she puts her trust in the Most High or not by the way she talks. You could see it. You could hear it. You could see if she's studying or not. It's not hard. That's how you know if this one what her value is. And if she can understand this, you have a woman that was built like the women of the past. You have a wife that's built like the old-fashioned women. Read on.
Adorn themselves, being in subjection.
Hold on. How did the old women of the past decorate themselves?
Being in subjection unto their own husbands.
How did the women of the past that the Most High honored and respected and blessed, how did they carry themselves with their husbands?
In subjection.
They carried themselves in what?
Subjection.
They carried themselves in subjection, meaning they submitted to their husbands. Go ahead.
Verse 6. Even Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Lord.
And even Sarah, as an example, obeyed Abraham, calling him what?
Lord.
Lord means what? Master. That's how much submission that she carried to her husband. That's how much she respected her husband in speech. So obviously Sarah, in order to talk to her husband in this fashion in speech, where was she pulling her knowledge from? The Most High. Hold this, because we're going to come back to it. Go to Ecclesiastes 26 and 13. Somebody had Ecclesiastes 26.
Yeah, right. Ecclesiasticus chapter 26 and verse 13. The grace of a wife.
Hold on, the what?
The grace of a wife delighteth her husband.
It says the what of her wife?
The grace of a wife.
Another definition of grace. The spiritual condition of one governed by the power of divine grace. The spiritual condition of one governed by the power of divine grace. Another definition of grace. This was something similar. This was very similar to the last definition of grace, the one we just read, which is the spiritual condition of one governed by the power of divine grace. But also, grace is that which affords joy, pleasure, delight, sweetness, charm, loveliness, and the last definition of grace is grace of speech. I'll read it again. It says, that which affords joy, pleasure, delight, sweetness, charm, loveliness, and grace of speech. I'll read it again. That which affords joy, pleasure, delight, sweetness, charm, loveliness, and the grace of speech. Everybody got that? I'll say it again. Grace, that which affords joy, pleasure, delight, sweetness, charm, loveliness, and grace of speech. So now, go back to 26 and 13 one more time.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 26 and verse 13. The grace of a wife.
The joy, the pleasure, the delight of a wife, the sweetness of a wife, the charm of a wife, the loveliness of a wife, or the grace of speech, go ahead,
delighteth her husband.
So how does a wife get the best out of her husband?
Her grace.
And her grace is built on what? Is how she speaks to him. See, a lot of marriages don't understand that the speech and the tongue plays a major part in the longevity of the relationship and the culture of the marriage. We underestimate the power of the words that we allow to come out of our mouth. We underestimate the harm, the damage that can be distributed in a marriage if the words that we say aren't with grace. If it's not with joy, if we're not communicating with our husbands with joy, with pleasure, with delight, with sweetness, with charm, I don't know how to charm. How do you not know how to charm your husband? How do you know how to make him feel good? How do you not know how to make him feel like he's home and he's the man of the house? It said Sarah called her husband what? Lord. So can you imagine what that feels like when you have that level of submission? When you have somebody greeting you with that level of submission? I'm not saying that we have to use that same, hey, call me master. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, look at the effect. Look at the power in it. Look at the power in just choosing the right way to speak to somebody and what it could do. That's what a good wife brings to the marriage. She strengthens that man. She builds that man up. She gives that man confidence. She gives that man the notion that she's behind. My woman is behind me. She supports me. She believes in me. She agrees with me. This is what a lot of marriages are missing, and this is what a woman in particular could bring to the table if she were to follow after the women of old. If she was to follow after the women of the past, the biblical women of the Bible, you would see a much different outcome in the marriage and the relationship. You would see the fruit of the marriage. Yes, sir.
I was saying that's why we need speech therapy, not because we can't utter a word, it's because we need to change the way we speak to each other. You know, we can't just, that's what I said, that season our speech with salt. We don't know how to talk to each other.
They don't know. We don't, and because there's no divine influence, and that's what happens when the Most High is not the influence. If I'm in a marriage and the Most High is not the influence in my wife's mind, then how can she deliver something to me that she doesn't possess? How can she give me speech with grace if she doesn't understand where grace comes from?
Can't happen.
Can't happen. It can't happen. Matter of fact, jump up real quick to verse 6. Who was reading Ecclesiastes? Yahweh? Or you were?
Yeah.
Read verse 6.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 26 and verse 6. But a grief of heart.
What do you call a grief of heart? Can anybody kind of give me today's terms for grief of heart? Stress.
Heartbreak.
Depression.
Wow.
Depression. Grief of heart is depression. It says, but grief of heart, go ahead.
And sorrow.
And sorrow, pain of the mind or body, read on.
Is a woman that is jealous over another woman.
It says there's two things that could bring depression or grief of heart or sorrow. A woman that's jealous over another woman, or what else?
And a scourge of the tongue.
And a what?
A scourge of the tongue.
Somebody give me the definition of scourge in the 1828 dictionary. Somebody give me the definition of scourge in the 1828 dictionary. You can go online and pull it up.
Scourge, to whip.
It says what?
To whip.
To whip. Go ahead.
A lash consisting of a strap or cord.
Like a belt, right?
An instrument of punishment or discipline.
So a scourge is what? To whip.
To whip. A lash consisting of a strap or cord. An instrument of punishment or discipline.
So it's an instrument of punishment. It's a belt. It's a cord. It's a whip. So it says, what else you got?
It says a punishment, vindictive affliction.
It says vindictive affliction.
Wow, what does that mean?
That means that this woman doesn't care about, or she purposely is saying certain things to cause such damage. The damage is intentional.
Wow.
So read verse 6 with that understanding.
Come. But a grief of heart and sorrow is a woman that is jealous over another woman.
Or what else?
And a scourge of the tongue.
And a what?
The scourge of the tongue.
Or vindictive affliction, or an instrument for punishment of the what?
Of the tongue.
So a woman can build a man up, or she can do what?
Break him down.
She can break a man down.
Definition of vindictive.
Yes.
Definition of vindictive is disapproving or having or showing a desire to hurt someone.
It says you got to read it. You got to read it up close on the camera.
Disapproving or having or showing a desire to hurt someone.
Oh my goodness! So
Crazy.
A woman knows how to let a man know that she what? Read that definition again.
She wants to hurt.
No,
them.
read the definition one more time.
Disapproving.
That she's what?
Disapproving.
So how does a woman show a man that she's disapproving of him? She doesn't approve of him.
Having or showing a desire to hurt someone.
So what does she use to show that she's not in agreement with this man?
Her speech.
Her mouthpiece, her tongue.
Scourge of the tongue.
She uses her tongue, her mouth as a weapon. That's when you don't want to come home. Man, you don't want to come home. It's not even that she's bigger than you. It ain't because she weighs more than you. It's not because she's stronger than you. But you know what hurts more to a man? The way that she uses her mouth to show you that she don't agree with you. The fact that she doesn't approve of what you do and what you're about. She kills a woman can kill a man's confidence. You got to read this real quick. Jump up one chapter in Ecclesiastes. Somebody read 25 and 23.
25 and 23.
Yeah, you stay where you are.
Ecclesiastes 25 and 23. A wicked woman abateth the courage.
Abated means she'll take away the what?
Courage.
She'll take the courage from a man. You could take a woman could take the courage from a man just by the way she talks to a man. Just by the choice of words that she uses to show him that I'm not approved of you. I don't approve of you. So I'm trying to hurt you. I'm trying to break you down. And if a woman is allowed to let loose like this, she'll steal a man's courage from him. He'll feel less than a man. Read on.
Maketh a heavy countenance.
Maketh the what?
A heavy countenance.
A sad countenance. A heavy countenance is a depression. A sadness.
Heavy countenance.
Heavy. That man.
You can see him in the room.
That man can't even lift his head up. He don't feel like a man. Read on.
And a wounded heart.
And a what?
Wounded heart.
And a
Two
heart.
signs.
Man.
That heavy countenance is a sign of a wounded heart also.
Yeah. That a wounded heart is a broken mind. That means there's damage there. That what a woman could damage with her tongue is a man's confidence, is a man's courage, it's the man's esteem. You could make a man feel like he's not the man of the house. Then you got men that blow their brains out.
Yep.
Then they kill a whole family. Oh, crazy stuff.
Yeah. The worst.
Psycho stuff. What you got?
Oh, a definition of abate, because it said a wicked woman abateth a man. Abate, to beat down, to pull down.
To beat down and to pull down. How does a wicked woman beat down or pull down a man's courage?
By her speech.
By her speech. It's the way she talks to him. So that could be, you can rob, a woman can rob a man of his courage just by how she uses her words, what her selection of words are, and what's her influence. Where's it coming from? Where is she getting this influence? Where is she getting this type of speech from? Where is she learning how to talk to her? Where is she learning how to talk to her husband this way, as if that's going to work in a marriage? As if that's going to build a marriage up. Read on.
A woman that will not comfort her husband in distress maketh weak hands.
It makes this man what?
Weak hands.
Go ahead.
And feeble knees.
How is this man supposed to go to work?
Can't do it.
He can't do it.
That man's not going to work.
He ain't going to work. He's just going to feel like a loser. He going to feel like a little boy again. I can't do nothing right. Because she ain't happy. She's always yelling. She's always screaming. I'm always to blame. She's never supportive. She doesn't agree with what I believe in. She doesn't believe in what I do. She's not behind me. She doesn't support what I'm doing for the Most High. She's always talking down on me. She's being vindictive in her speech. She's intentionally trying to ruin me and crush me. Let that go, and somebody read Ecclesiastes chapter 28, verse 17.
Ecclesiastes 28 and 17. The stroke of the whip maketh marks in the flesh.
And just like a actual physical whip, read on.
But the stroke of the tongue breaketh the bone.
It says, but what's worse, an actual physical belt or somebody abusing you with their words? Somebody punishing you with their words. That's worse than the actual physical whip.
So verbal abuse is real.
Verbal abuse is very real.
Okay.
It's more damaging than physical abuse. You know why? Because physical abuse, yes, it does play psychological damage on somebody, but words penetrate the what?
Heart.
It penetrates the heart. It penetrates the mind. You know what? The physical bruise is healed, but you know what you tell a person, how you feel about them when you're trying to crush their spirit, when you're intentionally trying to break them down or rob them of their courage and strength, of their confidence. That penetrates deeper than just the flesh wound. Read on.
Many have fallen by the edge of the sword.
Yeah. Many men have died in battle by the sword. Read on.
But not so many as have fallen by the tongue.
So there's more. It's saying that there's more men that have fell from the tongue being a sword than an actual metal sword or a bullet.
Or a gun.
It's crazy.
You know, so the tongue has a bigger body count than guns have ever had. That means people, if we understand how dangerous then the tongue is, then are we careful within our marriage about what we allow to fly out of our mouth?
Wow.
You have, if it's that damaging and if it's that dangerous, then why is it allowed? Why are you bringing this into a household? If you see the effects that it can do, if you see the damage, and if it's destroying the marriage, and it's not working for the marriage, why would you bring that in the household, knowing how deadly it is? Read on.
Come. Well is he that is defended from it, and have not passed through the venom thereof.
Wow.
It says
it's venom, huh?
Poison. That's poison, man.
That's crazy.
That's worse than a snake bite. That's really bad.
Worse than a snake bite.
It's worse than a snake bite.
That's really bad. Now, jump up to verse 14.
A backbiting tongue hath disquieted many, and driven them from nation to nation.
Go ahead.
Strong cities have it pulled down.
Go ahead.
And overthrown the houses of great men.
A lot of men have been affected by this tongue that has no grace in it. It has no grace and it's not seasoned with salt. Many households have been broken down just by the venom spit out in conversation. Many nations, it says a backbiting tongue have disquieted many. Many friendships have been broken. And this is not just for women. It's for women and men. The abuse of the tongue has broken down, it says have driven them from nation to nation. It's broken down nations. It says, and strong cities have it pulled down, and overthrow the houses of great men. Wow. Wherever you have this wicked tongue present, you can ensure that there's going to be some damage.
Real damage.
Real damage. This is for people that are not careful about what they allow to come out of their mouth.
It's worse than an earthquake. If it shakes up the house, you can always build a house again, physically.
Mm-hmm.
But if the house gets shook up, the relationship gets shook up, it's hard to fix that. It's hard to fix that, right?
It's hard to fix that.
And when we think we're being honest, we're really being reckless and destructive.
Right.
With our tongues.
Yeah, because you just can't handle what I say. That's what we say. You just can't handle the truth.
Yeah.
And nothing I said was with grace. Nothing I said was with charm, with sweetness, with pleasure, with delight, with loveliness, and joy.
God.
But it's your fault because you can't handle the way I talk. You just can't handle a strong black woman. Or I don't know what people be talking about. You just can't handle a strong woman. You just can't handle somebody telling you. No, I can't handle venom. I can't handle somebody being vindictive with their words. This is dangerous. Yes, sir.
Proverbs 18 and 21.
Read that.
Proverbs 18 and 21. Death and life are in the power of the tongue.
Same thing that the sister just quoted online. Death and life is in the power of the what?
The
tongue.
It's in the tongue. So what the Most High is showing you is that the women of old, the women of the past that were locked into their husbands, they were very careful about their word selection. They were very, very careful and discriminate, using discretion when it came to how they choose to address their husbands. And by doing so, they got the best out of their relationship. They got the best out of their marriage. They got the best out of their household. And they set the best example for their children.
Wow. That's the most important part.
Go to James chapter 3, verse 2.
So is it safe to say this, huh?
Mm-hmm.
If the example in the house is this negative speech and conversation, the children will adopt it also when they come of age?
Right, they'll adopt it, but also the relationship will deteriorate. If I don't know how to speak to my partner, I'm destroying the chemistry of what the Most High is creating for the purpose of the marriage. I'm destroying what could be built. James chapter 3, verse 2.
James chapter 3 and verse 2. For in many things we offend all. If any man offend not in word, the same is a perfect man.
What does the Most High consider a perfect man?
If any man offend not in word.
Because it's so easy to offend in what?
In word.
In what you say. How you talk to people is critical. And the Most High constitute a man that can control, or at least not be offensive in his speech, as a perfect man. Read on.
The same is a perfect man, and able also to bridle the whole body.
But when you have somebody that cannot control their mouth, guess what they also can't control?
The whole body.
They can't control their body either. So the power, having discretion, using discretion in speech, is a sign also that somebody has their body under submission. They're not going to act out. They're not going to misbehave. They're not going to carry themselves in the wrong fashion. They're not going to disrespect you. They're not going to bring shame upon you. He's showing you that if you can control your tongue, you can control the whole body. That's a very small instrument that has that much power. Read on.
Verse 3. Behold, we put bits in the horses' mouths, that they may obey us, and we turn about their whole body.
And he says a little bitty bit in a horse's mouth controls a 2,000-pound animal. Go ahead.
Behold, also the ships, which though they be so great, they are driven of fierce winds, yet are they turned about with a very small helm. Whithersoever the governor list.
And it says that governor, that helm, is the little small part under the bottom of a boat that turns when the captain turns the wheel. That little bitty thing at the bottom controls the whole ship in the water.
Small. It's a small part.
Rudder.
Yeah, rudder. Yeah.
Governor.
Yeah, which means to steer. So you steer a whole ship with a small little bitty rudder. It doesn't. So he's showing you that the tongue is a small instrument as well. Read on.
Verse 5. Even so, the tongue is a little member, and boasts great things.
But it talks a lot. It has a lot to say.
Yeah.
It always has a lot to say, even though it's small. It's always speaking some venom. Read on.
Behold, how great a matter a little fire kindleth. And the tongue is a fire, a world of iniquity. So is the tongue among our members, that it defileth the whole body.
So what ruins the value of a person is their what? Is their tongue. It doesn't matter how hard you work. It doesn't matter how good you look. It doesn't matter how much money you bring in. If your tongue is unruly and your tongue is fierce and it's full of venom, nobody wants to be around that. It doesn't. All these other things don't matter. It don't matter how good you can cook. He loved my food.
It don't taste as good, huh?
Yeah, but the food don't taste right. Because you know why? Because the tongue has ruined the desire and the mood to eat. How many times have you been hungry, but then as soon as that mouth started running, you lose your appetite? I'm not even hungry no more. I was hungry until you opened your mouth. I was hungry until you started talking. And then now you got to look at the food like, man, I'll just get up and go get some. I'll go some fast food. You know you're hungry. You know it smells good and look good. But because you know that mouth has just ruined the moment. It just ruined the mood. Speaking of the mood, you could have been in the mood. You could have been in the mood, and that tongue started rolling, and then what happens?
Killed the zone.
Killed the chemistry. It killed the moment. Because you open your mouth. And the minute you open your mouth, it just, whatever chemistry or interaction or intimacy that was about to go down, that it just goes out the window. And this happens all the time. Because the tongue is that damaging. Read on.
James chapter 3, verse 6. And the tongue is a fire, a world of iniquity. So is the tongue among our members.
This is a world of iniquity?
A world of iniquity. A world of iniquity is sin. It's hell. It's chaos. It's showing you how large of, and if you imagine if you have a household and you got two people that are vindictive and they don't know how to talk to each other. Imagine a household existing off of two people throwing fire at each other, breathing fire on each other.
Two dragons.
Two dragons in the house. Letting loose on each other. What are the children seeing? What are the children listening to? What are you expecting for them? How are they developed if all they hear is slander, cursing, physical abuse? You ain't shit either. Well, you know I leave, you leave. Well, leave then. All this going back and forth. All this disrespect in the tongue. What are you teaching the kids? What opportunity do they have to come out and do something better when this is what they think a relationship is? This is their definition of a marriage. This is their definition of a union. I'm supposed to fight with you because that's what I saw my mommy and daddy do.
That's what love is.
That's what love is. I'm supposed to argue with you because that's what I was shown.
I'm going to tear you down. If you can tolerate me tearing you down, now I know you love me.
Now I know you love me because you could take my venom that I'm spitting at you. It's showing you how unruly and how damaging and unproductive the tongue can be. And this is what breaks down marriages. This is what can extend the marriage, or this is what can tear the whole house down. Read on.
And the tongue is a fire, a world of iniquity. So is the tongue among our members, that it defileth the whole body.
The tongue does what?
Defileth the whole body.
Read on.
And setteth on fire the course of nature.
It said it sets on fire the course of nature. When things should have been going well, you just burned it down to the ground. When things should have been built and should have been in harmony, and there should have been peace and love in the household, now there's no joy. Now we can't wait to go to sleep, or I can't wait till you leave and go to work. I just can't wait. I'm reminding you, like, hey, don't you got to go to work? Don't you got something to do?
Somewhere to be.
Don't you got somewhere to be? Man, this is what happens when somebody that has a vindictive mouth, an unruly mouth. This is what happens. They destroy the harmony that's present amongst men. This is why the Most High says this. Go to Proverbs chapter 6, verse 16.
Proverbs chapter 6, verse 16. These 6 things doth the Most High hate.
There's certain things that the Most High hates. What are just 6 things does the Most High hate? Because some people say the Lord don't hate. Well, the Most High does hate. What does the Most High hate? Read.
Yea, 7 are an abomination unto him.
And the 7th thing makes the Most High extremely disgusted. It disgusts the Most High. It's considered vile to the Most High. What is it?
A proud look.
It says a proud look. The Most High hate a person with a proud look. What else?
A lying tongue.
The Most High hate a person that's constantly lying. A tongue that lies, can't tell the truth. What else?
And hands that shed innocent blood.
Somebody that's taking it out on somebody that didn't deserve it. Somebody shedding innocent blood. Read on.
And heart that devises wicked imaginations.
Somebody that's coming up with evil in their mind, contemplating evil.
Contemplating evil.
What else?
Feet that be swift and running to mischief.
Somebody that's quick to go get into trouble. Somebody that's looking for trouble. I'm trying to find something to get into. Read.
A false witness that speaketh lies.
And a false witness that speak lies. All these things the Most High hate. Read on.
And he that soweth discord.
But the 7th thing, the Most High finds it ultimately offensive, vile, and disgusting. Is a man or a woman that what?
And he that soweth discord.
What's discord? Somebody give a definition of discord.
Discord, lack of concord or harmony between persons, disagreement, difference of opinion.
It says you always bringing a what?
Disagreement or difference of opinion.
You always bringing about. The house could be going fine. The body could be going fine. Roommates could be going fine. A relationship could be going fine. A company or a union could be going. A brotherhood could be going fine. And somebody that comes in and does what?
Have a discord, disagreement, or difference of opinion.
How does the Most High feel about that?
He hates it.
He hates it, man.
It's abomination.
No, it's beyond.
Abomination.
It's a beyond hatred. It says it's an abomination. It's a filthy, wicked thing. Yeah, go ahead.
Discord. It says any disagreement which produces angry passions, contest, litigation, or war.
So is it bringing peace?
La-ah.
Is it bringing unity?
La-ah.
Is it bringing harmony?
La-ah.
Is it agreeable?
La.
Is it furthering the cause of what you're building?
La.
No. What is it doing? Why do we have to do it this way? Why do we have to do it your way? Why can't I do it my way? I could talk to you however I want to talk to you. Because I don't see you as a superior. You're not my boss. You don't tell me what to do. I don't take orders from you. I take orders from me. I listen to me. It's somebody who's always bringing either a contest, a difference or opinion, or they just don't agree. They're bringing division. And the Most High said that's disgusting to him. Because the Most High, he said how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in what?
Unity.
Unity.
The Most High finds unity good and pleasant. He finds unity attractive. But when somebody comes in with this unruly mouth, with this unruly opinion, causing dissension and disagreements and disharmony and discord, the Most High said he finds that completely disgusting.
Wow.
Because what you're bringing is war. You're bringing contention. You're not bringing peace.
That'd be pride.
That is pride. Because the scriptures say only by pride cometh what?
Contention.
Contention. It is pride. But it's pride given in the form of a speech. Given in the form of an opinion. And a person that brings that to the table, the Most High finds them disgusting. So we understand how the Most High feel about that. He said, and he that soweth discord, go ahead.
Among the brethren.
It said the Most High said he is disgusted with that, man. The Most High can't stand that mentality. Finish that up in James. And we're going to go back to Ecclesiastes. James chapter 3.
It's safe to say that if these certain aspects of a person or issues aren't really cleaned out the house or cleaned out that relationship, then it's safe to say that marriage is not going to really last.
Say it one more time.
Because the top of the class is marriage make it last, right? So these certain issues that are popping up, these are the reasons why marriages don't last.
This is what's missing in the marriage. What's missing in the marriage is grace. What grace is the ability to talk to somebody correctly. I don't know how to talk to people. I don't know how to talk to people. I don't know how to talk to brothers. I don't know how to talk to my partner. I don't know how to talk to my husband. I don't know how to talk to my wife. What's missing in the marriage is grace. I don't know how to bring joy to the table. I bring division to the table. When I come up and step on the scene, I'm always talking against. And I'm always talking down. I'm not talking for the uplifting or the harmony. I'm talking against. I'm bringing my opinion. I'm bringing my feelings. I'm bringing my emotions. I'm bringing my thoughts on how I see things and how they should be. That's why I said the women of old, Sarah, for example, called Abraham Lord. So it's whatever you wanted. Whatever you want, Abraham, that's what I'm going to do. Whatever you're about, that's what I agree to. If you say let's get up and move to another city, that we're going to get up and move to another city. You say we're going to serve the Most High like this, this is how, you're my Lord. I follow, you lead. People don't come in that mentality. People don't be in a marriage or relationship or with the body of people with that mentality. You know what it is? I have my own decisions. I have my own likes and dislikes. I don't care about what you like. Because even if I gotta learn how to compromise and put my likes on hold, or just let me at least see the beauty of the agreement. Can I at least see the beauty of what it means to agree with my husband? Can I at least see the beauty of what it means to follow him? A lot of times the relationship is over before it begins. Because I never saw how if I decorate myself with the same mentality that Sarah had, let me see the long-term benefit of doing so. What is the long-term benefit for being in agreement with my partners or with my brothers? Because this is not just for a wife, it's for men as well. What is the long-term benefit?
Forever. Being together forever.
Say it again.
Being together forever.
You know what you realize? When the long-term benefit of using these things is the fruit that comes out of it. What is the fruit that grows out of a woman putting herself in that level of subjection to her husband? What is the fruit that comes from it?
Peace.
Peace.
Joy.
Peace. But why is it there no peace? Because I don't see the benefit of me putting myself in subjection in this fashion. I don't value peace. Because I'm used to chaos, because that's how I grew up. I'm used to disharmony. I'm used to people yelling at each other and quitting on each other. I'm used to people fighting. I'm used to people throwing hands on each other. That's how I grew up. That's what I'm used to. I don't value peace. I don't value tranquility. I don't value that. I'm used to seeing people struggle. I'm used to seeing people walk out on each other. I'm used to seeing people quit on each other. Or I'm used to seeing people crushing each other with words. So this is what I bring to the marriage. If you bring that to the marriage, you're not going to have a marriage. You bring that to a body of people, to a church, you're not going to have a body or church. You're not going to have a brotherhood.
Meaningful relationships ain't gonna last.
Or if you bring that to a friendship,
True.
you're not going to have any friends. This is the one element. This is the one element that destroys the harmony between people simply because I don't know how to use my mouth. Simply because I don't know how to talk to people. It may sound simple. We talk every day. But you don't know how to talk to people. When I say that, I mean you don't know how to get the best out of people. You don't know how to get the best of the relationship. You don't know how to activate the relationship to where it grows and blossoms into a perfect union. You don't know how to do that because you haven't seen it. Because look at your parents. Look at your parents. They didn't always show that. And if you did have parents that demonstrated that, good for you. But the majority of us don't. The majority of us didn't have parents to put this on display. And it's unfortunate. Finish that in
James.
In James.
James chapter 3 verse 6 from the top. And the tongue is a fire, a world of iniquity. So is the tongue among our members, that it defileth the whole body, and setteth on fire the course of nature, and it is set on fire of hell.
Go ahead.
For every kind of beasts, and of birds, and of serpents, and of things in the sea is tamed, and hath been tamed of mankind.
Whales have been tamed. Elephants have been tamed.
Lions.
Polar bears. Lions.
They got hyenas. People, you have hyenas like dogs in Africa.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hyenas.
Yep. People have tamed some of the most venomous beasts in the world. Read on.
Verse 8. But the tongue can no man tame.
But you know what's so hard to control? Just can you just watch your mouth? Can you just watch your mouth? Yes, sir.
You got Ephesians 4 and 29?
No, go ahead.
Ephesians 4 and verse 29 reads, let no corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth, but that which is good to the use of edifying.
Now the definition of edify means what?
To build.
To build up. To build up. So your tongue should be used to do what?
To build up.
But do we use it for that?
Tear down.
We use it to tear down. We don't use our tongue to build somebody up. You know, if I've been bullied all my life, and I've only been subjugated to pain from other people, delivering and dumping their pain on me, how can I in turn know how to give it to somebody else? I would have to be taught on how to speak. I would have to be taught on the benefits of speaking correctly and uplifting people and encouraging people. I'd have to be taught that, because I wouldn't know how to do that. If I've been brought up in chaos and confusion, how do I expect to know how? Or I came from two parents that both have dragon mouths. How can I expect to know how to talk to somebody? I'm going to use the same vocabulary, the same intensity, the same slander. I'm going to use the same verbal abuse as I've seen everybody else use. Yeah. I'm going to do the same thing that was done to me to other people. And I wonder why I don't have any friends. And I wonder why I can't remain married. And I wonder why nobody wants to be around me. That's the downside to it. I don't understand why I'm alone. But I've never put my tongue under control. Yes, sir.
Did you get Colossians 3 yet?
No, we're going to get there.
Okay, you got it?
Yeah. Read on.
Verse 8, James 3 verse 8. But the tongue can no man tame. It is an unruly evil, full of deadly poison.
Full of what?
Deadly poison.
Read on.
Therewith bless we the Most High.
It says, how do you say Barakatah Yahweh Hashem Yahushua? How do you bless the Most High with your tongue? How do you pray to the Most High? How do you pray over your food? How do you pray for people? Read on.
Even the Father, and therewith curse we men.
And how do you, with the same tongue, bless the Most High and use that same instrument and curse the people around you? Read on.
Which are made after the similitude of the Most High.
Mankind is made after what?
The similitude of the Most High.
So if I'm cursing out man, in essence, I'm cursing out who?
The Most High.
The one who created him. So when I'm bringing discord and I'm sowing discord and I'm tearing people down with my words, I'm actually tearing down the Creator. I'm tearing down His creation. Do we understand that? No, not really. No, we say calm, but we don't really
Our
do that.
actions don't show
Our
it.
actions don't show that.
Don't reflect.
It doesn't reflect it. Read on.
Says verse 10. Out of the same mouth proceeded blessing and cursing. My brethren, these things ought not so to be.
It says these things ought not so to be, which means what? It shouldn't be that way. You shouldn't use your tongue to bless the Most High and turn around and curse your husband, or curse your wife, or curse your brother, or to tear down your brother, tear down the people around you, verbally destroying them. It says this is not the way it's supposed to be. Ecclesiastes, let that go. Go to Ecclesiastes chapter 20 and read verse 16.
Ecclesiastes 16 and 20?
20 and 16.
20 and 16. Ecclesiastes chapter 20 and verse 16. The fool saith, I have no friends.
Wow. So you're saying this is what a fool says. A person making this speech, Most High says automatically is a fool. I have no friends.
A fool says what?
A fool saith, I have no friends.
I have no what?
I have no friends.
What's a friend? It's another word for a friend.
Companionship.
Companion. I don't have a
Partner,
companion.
brother.
I don't have a partner. I don't have a like-minded person around me. I don't have anybody that agrees with me and sees things the way I see things. I'm not on one accord. I'm not in a union with anybody. I'm solo dolo. I'm Han Solo.
It's out there, right?
I'm Han Solo, and I ride alone, and I'm always alone. I'm one deep. And a person would have the audacity to say what?
I have no friends.
A wife will say what? I don't got no friends because I don't trust nobody. Your mom will say what? I don't got no friends. Only a fool will say what?
I have no friends.
And only a fool would say, I have no friends. Why is that? Read.
I have no thank for all my good deeds.
Nobody appreciates what I do. Nobody appreciates me. I don't have friends because y'all don't appreciate me. I don't have friends because you don't appreciate what I do for you. And people are always takers instead of givers. It's always the other person's fault. It's always the other person's fault. They don't see the value in me. That's their fault. I don't have no friends because they can't see my value. They don't see what I bring to the table. We just read in Ecclesiastes chapter 26 verse 13. What is where is the value at?
Grace.
Is in the grace. And the grace being what? How you talk to people. But yeah, of course, nobody sees your good deeds. Because your good deeds are ruined by what? By your mouth. For whatever good you do bring to the table, you just throw it out the window because of what?
Discord.
Because you bring discord. Because you bring disharmony. Because you bring division.
Contention.
Because you bring contention. Because you bring war. Because you bring a fight. Because you bring an opinion. You bring your own thoughts to the table. This is why there's nobody there to appreciate what you do. All the good deeds that you bring to the table. It's not the friend's fault. That's why the Most High said only a fool would say that. It's not the fool, it's not the friend, it's not people's fault that they don't value me. No, you ruin your friendships because you don't know how to talk to your friends. That's why you don't have no friends. You ruin what could be in a marriage because I can cook, I can clean, I can take care of kids.
I look good.
I could bring in some money.
Keep my nails right.
You know, I'm at least a 9. I'm at least a 9 on a scale of 10. Or at least a 7. I give myself a 7 because I got skills. I can wash clothes. I can cook. I can clean. Nobody wants those.
You got a good job too.
I got a good job. I know how to take care of my house. I can clean my house.
I can iron.
I can iron. Nobody wants. You know what? You keep that iron then. I iron my own clothes.
I'm wearing wrinkles.
You keep. You know what? It's the truth.
It's crazy.
Only a fool would sit back and say it's the other person. This is why I don't have friends. Because you can't see what's valuable. It's your fault you can't see a gold nugget. I'm gold. You may think you're gold, but your tongue is what? Trash. It's trash. It's poison. And because your mouth is poison, it's full of poison, and it's venomous. This is why people don't care about the good things you bring to the table. This is what devalues all your good deeds. This is what throws them all out the window. Now imagine if you had something to bring to the table. You had attributes. You had things that, you knew how to keep a house and sustain a house and bring an income in and support your man, along with knowing how to talk to him and lift him up and bring peace and harmony in the house. Imagine if you had that aspect as well.
Treasure.
That you're valuable. But a fool doesn't understand that he's the problem or she's the problem. You mean to tell me you're going to let all this go to waste? You're going to let all this go to waste. You're going to throw all this away.
Yeah.
They say one man's trash is another man's treasure.
Yeah.
You gonna let all this go? You know what? So be it then. Yes, sir.
On what you just said about throwing away the trash, 1 Corinthians 5 and 6, it says,
No.
your glorying is not
good. Yeah, go ahead.
Your glorying is not good. Know ye not that a little leaven leaveneth the whole lump?
Yeah. So ain't no need to glory about what you do good that brings to the table. Yeah, nobody wants all that. You mean you're gonna let this go? Nobody, all this good loving? No.
All this good loving, ain't worth it.
No, and it's not worth it. Because look at the price that I got to pay to have it. Look at the price that I paid to deal with it.
It'll be abated out.
It'll be abated.
You gotta be abated out. To your soul.
I gotta compromise my courage as a man and my confidence of who I am as a man in exchange for some good loving. I gotta take away who I am as a man just for a good meal or for a clean house. That's not really worth the compromise. Or because you pay half the rent. I can do bad by what?
Myself.
I can do bad by myself. That's what people will get to the conclusion of. I can do bad by myself. If I gotta listen to the way you talk and what you bring and your opinion and the nastiness that comes out of your mouth, I can do this alone.
Scripture says, woe to him that is alone.
Right. But only a fool will sit back and think like this, that it's the other people's fault. It's your fault that you don't see the value in me. Only a fool thinks that way. I have no friends. Nobody wants to hang with me.
There's a lot of bad people out there.
Yeah,
no one likes me.
No one likes me. It's their fault.
I wonder why.
Yeah, but yes, sir.
Like ultimately, it's not what people see or if they acknowledge your goodness, it's that God's seeing it.
Right. It does, but you still can't bypass people in what you do for the Most High. Because the measure of how you view the Most High is based upon how you treat who? The people around you.
Yeah.
That's the measure to determine if you love the Most High. Is how you treat your fellow humans, fellow brother and sister, your neighbor. So you can't say I love the Most High and neglect or disrespect the people around you. That's why it says in James, how can you bless the Most High but you curse your brother? He said these things are not so to be. The Most High will disregard your blessing. If you're using that same tongue to curse people, he's not listening to that blessing. He could care less about what blessings you have out of your mouth if you don't know how to use that same tongue and bless the people around you. But he said what? And read verse 20 and 16 again. Chapter 20, verse 16. Yeah.
Ecclesiastes chapter 20 and verse 16. The fool said, I have no friends.
The fool said, I ain't got no friends. Go ahead.
It's foolish because the friends you had, you kind of got rid of them.
Yeah. You abated their courage, man.
Abated the courage.
No new friends.
Abated their courage to be your friend.
Yep. Read on.
I have no thank for all my good deeds.
Nobody sees the good that I bring to the table. Go ahead.
And they that eat my bread.
And people that
everybody's taking advantage.
They're
of me,
taking
God.
advantage of me. They're using me.
Come.
Read.
Just here to use.
And they that eat my bread speak evil of me.
And they speak evil of me. So a fool has this mentality that he's not able to see himself. It's always the outward. It's always other people. It's always what they can't see. It's always what they're trying to take advantage of me. They're using me. You know, if this is your house, give me that scripture said it'd be better to dwell on a rooftop. No, it's
Then a little lion.
yeah.
Well, with a
dragon.
Yeah. Proverbs 21:9. Read that.
Proverbs 21:9. 21:9. Salakia. If a wise man contendeth with a
21:9?
foolish man.
21:9.
Oh, 21:9. Salakia. 21 in verse 9.
Read that.
It is better to dwell in a corner of a house of the housetop than with a brawling woman in a wide house.
So you can keep the house. I'll just take a corner. You can keep the whole house. If this is what I gotta put up with, then keep what you bring to the table. Then I'd rather be isolated by myself. Or if a brother is unruly because you're in my car, you gotta follow my rules. Then I'll take Uber. If I gotta be disrespected just to use what you bring to the table,
Via looks real good.
yeah, that Via bus looks excellent. It comes every hour without stop, without fail. I'll catch the next one. There's always another one.
They got heated seats in the back.
Yeah, they got and they got Wi-Fi.
What?
Don't forget now. Public transportation, they got Wi-Fi. And they got the plush seat. They don't got them hard plastic seats no more.
They changed it up.
They switched it up.
Primo 100.
So and they got the express and the skip stop. So you pay that extra 75 cents, you can bypass a couple of stops. They'll take you directly where you gotta go. That $1.50, you get that express. They'll get on the highway.
What?
Yeah. So, but
I wish I had knew that back in the day.
Shit, some people may want to know that now, because if this is what I have to endure just to receive your benefits, then you keep your benefits. Then you keep what you bring to the table. Then you can have this house. This how people really start having to deal with you. Forget the good that you bring to the table. I don't even want it.
You can keep it.
You can have it. If it has to come along with this type of dialogue.
That's true. That's so true.
If it has to come with this type of verbal abuse, then you can have it all. Well, I don't even want it. You can keep your car. Do what you want to do with it. Keep your house. Put whoever you want in it. But you know you're not gonna have my presence. And that's what somebody that doesn't understand the effect that they have with their mouth, that's the eventual estate of their relationship. Solo. But I'll tell everybody else that person was trying to use me, they're trying to take advantage of me. I'll tell everybody else they were no good, it was always their fault. It'll always be the other people, and that'll be what I express. I'll never really look at me. So
that's
first,
the benefit.
No, go ahead.
That's one of the benefits of being in a body, because the body gives you multiple opportunities to see yourself. You get multiple opportunities to see these situations happen. Oh man, this person had an issue. This man went to this person. There was an issue. Everywhere this person goes, there's an issue.
Everywhere this person goes, they light a fire.
Everywhere you go, there's always
contention,
altercations and contentions everywhere. So when you have a spiritual body full of people that follow the scriptures and read the Bible, it's easier to diagnose these issues and problems. The other person's just choice is, I'm just going to be delusional and lie and say, yeah, everybody's just lying. They're lying against me. But you have counsels, you have priests, you have people that are witnesses and say, listen, man, this has been going on for 7 months, huh?
Yep.
It's been going on for a year and a half. Everybody's lying every single day for a year and a half, huh? Are you serious, brother?
What?
Come on.
Everybody's taking advantage of you?
Everybody's just taking advantage of you for 7 months straight up.
Everybody doesn't see my good deeds?
No one appreciates you for
Nobody appreciates me.
You know what? And that's the benefit of a camp, because you get to see yourself. Most High creates situations that you can't control to expose our natural negatives.
Yep.
That's the blessing. That's actually a blessing.
And that's a good thing, because you can be correctly advised on how to look at yourself. Matter of fact, the first thing people are going to do, read Ecclesiastes 20 and 17. Somebody pick up where Johanna left off at. Ecclesiastes 20 and 17.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 20, verse 17.
For a fool that says, I have no friends, read.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 20, verse 17.
Mm-hmm.
It says, how oft and of how many shall he be laughed to scorn?
This man deserves to be laughed to what?
To scorn.
You should be laughed to scorn if you're walking around blaming everybody else for the fact that you're alone and nobody wants to be your friend. You should be laughed to scorn on a regular basis. He said, how oft and how many shall he be laughed to scorn? Why should this person be laughed to scorn on a regular basis and ridiculed for that thought process? Like it's everybody else's fault that they don't value you and what you bring to the table. Why is that? Read on.
For he knoweth not aright what it is to have.
Because this man doesn't understand what it means to have. You don't understand what it means to have friends. So it's actually the other way around. You don't benefit friends. I mean, you don't see the benefit in friends. You don't see the benefit in a husband. A strong husband that you support verbally. That you back up with your mouth and support his every move. You're the dummy. And this is why you should be laughed to scorn on a regular basis. And quite often. Because the problem is not with the friends. The problem is with you. Because you don't know what it means to have. Because every time you have, what happens? You lose.
Can I say this, sir? That spirit alone has made Kevin Simmons a rich man.
Man.
It's made him, these people who don't understand how to get along with people, disagree and interact with people. People are getting rich off of you. They're making, look.
It's entertainment.
White people are making shows. They're making 2-hour programs that extend for at least 3 seasons. Your kids going to college off of people that have dysfunctional personalities.
Yep.
Divorce court, Judge Joe Brown, Bad Girls Club, all of them, radio shows, podcast. What's that club? Breakfast Club.
Breakfast Club. Yeah.
Breakfast Club. Housewives of every city in America. Right. All these different situations, people are getting wealthy off our inability to interact
and get along with each other.
Love and hip hop too.
Love and hip hop. Flavor of love.
You get rich off this, huh?
That's an old school.
I had to throw that in there.
Yeah, I actually like that show.
Love of New York.
Yeah, but it just shows these images were popularized because people feel less bad about themselves because there's always somebody more extreme than you, so I can't be that bad. But nobody put a camera on you and watch you every day. You'd be a great show. You'd be a great show too. So I like what you're bringing out, Shawan.
No, it's showing you that this person actually has it backwards. It's not that you don't have friends because people want to take advantage of you and you got to watch out for people. It's the fact that you don't know what it means to have somebody by your side. Neither do you value that. So you're too loose with your mouth. You're too loose with what you say because you don't value who's in front of you. You think that it's the person that has to that is receiving the benefits. Actually, you're receiving the benefits from that person as well. Because it's an exchange. It's an exchange of camaraderie. It's an exchange of commerce.
Yeah.
It's an exchange of intimacy. It's an exchange of intercourse. So you benefit from that person just as much. It's not one-sided. Only a fool would think that it's everybody's fault that I don't have friends. That's foolish.
Ain't no good people out there. There's no good marriage out there.
Ain't no good men.
Ain't no good man out there.
Ain't no real brothers. It's all fake friends.
Come.
You know why he said verse 17 one more time.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 20 verse 17. How oft and of how many shall he be laughed to scorn?
You deserve to be laughed to scorn. Read on.
For he knoweth not aright what it is to have.
Because you don't even know what it means to have. See, for you to let loose verbally on the people around you, then you don't value the people around you. You don't appreciate the people around you. You think you're the benefit. You think you're the value.
Honey, don't you know I know my worth.
Yeah, you think you're the only one that brings something to the table.
That's real.
That's not what value is. You think you're the gold. Read on.
It says, and it is all one unto him.
They said, now when he says it is all one, let's get the understanding of what he's saying. It is all one. What he's saying is, it's all the same. You would treat people the same way even if they did value you.
Wow.
You would still disrespect people with your tongue even if they did appreciate your benefits.
Wow.
Even if they did see the good in you. So whether you say, I have no friends because people are unruly and people are sketchy, whether you blame them and say, I ain't got no friends, you don't realize even if they wasn't sketchy, you would still have no friends. Even if the man wasn't as a great guy that you wanted, that you envisioned since you was a little girl and this is who you wanted to marry, so what? Even if he's not the knight in shining armor, you would still treat a man, if you did have a knight in shining armor, you would still run him off with your damn mouth too. Because the problem is not them, the problem is who?
You.
It's you. That's why it says it's all the same. It don't matter if people do care about you. It don't matter. You can say they don't, but even if they did, you would still run them off. You would taint and destroy the love that you got around you because you're the one that doesn't know what it means to have. So what do people do when they don't know what it means to have?
Sabotage.
They sabotage or they destroy it. They destroy relationships. Because you don't know what, that's like a kid. You don't know the value of, you give a kid a cell phone, you don't know the value of a cell phone. You tear it up. You give a kid a car, you don't know the value of a car, you tear it up. You don't see the value in that. I just play with it, that's just fun. Skirt. But I do that with friendships too.
Wow.
I don't know what it means to have a person in my corner. So what do I do to the people that's even trying to be in my corner?
Tear them down.
All I do is tear them down. It's all the same. You could be the greatest person for me that the Most High brought next to me. You could be the right one. You could be the right one. You could be the right person the Most High chose for me, and you could be the right friends. You could be the right comrades, the right brothers, the right people that I need in my life, and you would still run them off.
Best influence for me.
The best influence. When you said before, man, I was with so-and-so, they never cared. Okay, now you got somebody that do care. But guess what? You still running them off. You still don't know how to talk to them. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if people are good to you or not. If your tongue is the problem, you need to fix your tongue. If your mouth is the problem, you need to fix your mouth. You could call, oh, it's that person, it's them. You can blame everybody all you want, all day, every day. But it's not going to change. You could have a gift in your hand and you'll still throw it away. And that's the problem with people.
Can I say this? Because I like what you're saying, because it says, certain people say, well, all these people from my past are the reason I am who I am now. Right? It could be a possibility Most High had you have those experiences so you know what to value when you get a genuine person in your life.
Yep.
When you get a sincere person, that should be all the bad relationships I had in my past and all the bad experiences I had in my past.
Fake friends.
All the fake individuals I connected to. That should be the reason that I have to keep the good people that the Most High gave to me. That should be my reason to treat them right. Cause I've had bad relationships. Shit, I'm not gonna let this one go. Cause I've had a lot of bad relationships. I'm gonna make this work. I wanna have some grace. I'm gonna study how to communicate properly. I'm gonna sit here and be agreeable. I'm gonna sit here and look how can I benefit the people around me. Cause I know what it's like to have bad people. If that's the number one excuse.
Right.
So if my perspective is wrong, even when I do have bad past experiences, it's still my perspective is still wrong.
Man. Ecclesiastes 28:9.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 28.
It's their fault. It's his fault.
Verse 9. Whenever you're ready.
Read that.
Ecclesiastes 28:9. A sinful man
Does what?
disquieteth friends.
He does what?
Disquieteth friends.
So even if I did have friends, I'm gonna do what?
Disquiet them.
Because of what?
I'm a sinful.
Because I'm a sinful man. And what makes me sinful?
My mouth.
My mouth. It says the tongue is a world of iniquity. It's an unruly evil. It's full of sin. So even if I did have some friends, my mouth will intervene and destroy the friendships. So even if I am in a relationship, what's going to destroy the relationship? Your mouth. Your mouth is still going to tear it down. Read it again.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 28 verse 9. A sinful man disquieteth friends.
Yeah, you're gonna wreck the harmony and destroy the peace. Read.
And maketh debate among them.
And how does he destroy the peace?
Wow.
Maketh debate among them.
Maketh debate.
What was the definition of discord?
Lack of harmony.
Lack of harmony. What else?
Difference of opinion.
What we got?
Disagreement or difference of opinion.
Disagreement or difference of opinion.
Which produces anger and passion.
Yeah, which produces what? You had the definition of.
It says any disagreement which produces angry passions, contest, litigation,
It's always a contest.
or war.
It's always right and
It's
wrong.
like being a lawyer. Yeah, always like you're trying to prove your point. They're trying to prove their point. It's always this proving.
Battle of strategies.
It's like God. It's like a battle rap trying to be with this person.
Right.
It's constantly you're doing this. And I got something for you. It just never ends.
You want Whataburger?
No,
Why do you choose Whataburger?
You know, I don't like Whataburger.
Okay, well then let's go to In-N-Out Burger. You know I don't like In-N-Out Burger.
Okay.
So we're just gonna agree to disagree. Well then let's eat what you want to eat then. Well, I'm not hungry no more because you got on my nerves.
That's real.
Yeah. You know what? I guess we just won't eat then. I guess we just won't eat.
This is hungry.
Yeah, we're just gonna be hungry. Can we agree to be hungry? Because that's how foolish it is. So that definition one more time of discord.
Discord.
And Jawab, you got the Ecclesiastes, right?
Yeah.
Discord. Difference of opinions, variance, contention, strife, any disagreement which produces angry passions, contest, litigation, or war.
And war. So you know what? This is a hell to be in with a person when you got friends like this and you got a relationship like this. That's hell.
God.
So read that verse again in Ecclesiastes.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 28 verse 9. A sinful man disquieteth friends, and maketh debate among them that be at peace.
Damn, bro. So it don't matter. It don't matter if you had some good friends. You still gonna bring the debate. It don't matter if you got a good husband. You're still gonna bring the debate. You still gonna bring the litigation and the war. You still don't know how to be at peace. You don't know how to make the relationship work, do you? You just know how to close your mouth and just make the relationship work. You just gotta say something, don't you? You just gotta say something. You gotta express what you don't like, huh? You gotta bring your opinion into the mix. This person could be busting their butt to sustain the house or the relationship.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Because you're gonna find something wrong. You're gonna find something to argue about. You're gonna find something to debate about. Then you know what? Then you need to be that person that's alone saying, I ain't got no friends. And you need to be laughed at for that. There's no good men in the world. You need to be laughed at for that.
Yeah.
There's no good women in the world. You need to be laughed at for that. Nobody wants to be my friend. You need to be laughed at for that. And it's your problem. Your mouth runs people away. You could have had a good relationship. You had a good friendship.
Yeah.
You threw it in the trash because you don't know what it means to have. You don't know what it means to possess people that care about you. You don't know what it means to possess people that agree with you. You don't know what it means to possess friends that support you and are behind you. You don't see the value in it. You're going to run them off by that tongue, that little bitty member that steers the whole ship.
Come.
You're going to throw everything in the trash because you don't know how to keep your thoughts to yourself and you don't know how to use grace in your speech.
Come.
Proverbs 18 and 24 says what?
Proverbs 8.
Proverbs chapter 18 and verse 24. A man that hath friends must shew himself friendly.
Read it again.
A man that hath friends must shew himself friendly.
So if you're going to have friends, you're going to have a relationship, you're going to be in a partnership, you're going to have a companion, you're going to have companions. A man that have friends must what?
Show himself friendly.
No, it's the other people's responsibility.
Show himself friendly.
Huh?
You got to read it. I'm asking the question so you can read it.
It's lucky, all right. A man that have friends must shew himself friendly.
It's their fault.
He must show himself friendly.
You got to prove to me that you value what I bring to the table.
Must shew himself friendly.
So you know what? You got to handle the fact that I like to argue and debate. That's your responsibility to understand.
No, you got to show yourself friendly.
You know, that's not the way it works. See, if you're going to have friends, you got to produce some friendly connotation. And the way you produce friendly connotation is in your speech. The first thing that needs to happen is you need to be careful in how you talk to people. You're either going to build them up or you're going to run them off. You have to make a wiser selection of words, of choices of words to use to engineer the proper relationship and the proper culture of a marriage.
That's powerful. You might want to say it again. That's a heavy statement, bro.
Right, because what people don't understand what it takes to build something. I know how to tear stuff down because I've been doing that all my life. That comes with ease. I know how to ruin friendships and I know how to tell somebody like it is. And I can tell people the truth about themselves. I know how to tear down. We naturally know how to tear down. But you know what's not easy? Building up. Scripture, Sister Poole says, sweet language multiplied friends. Great scripture.
Yeah.
Because I know how to talk to people. So I know how to make friends. I know how to make a relationship. Instead of break one.
Everybody likes to play Jenga.
Yeah. They know how to tear it down, though.
Yeah, take a little bit here, take a little bit there till it fall.
Till it falls, man.
Till it fall.
You know, take risk.
Come.
Ecclesiastes 26 and 6 says what? Let that go. Ecclesiastes chapter 26 verse 6.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 26, verse 6. But a grief of heart and sorrow,
Depression, sorrow. Go ahead.
is a woman that is jealous over another woman.
Go ahead.
And a
Oh, it ain't even just women. Sometimes it's men jealous of the relationship you have with other men. I'm talking about brother to brother. Brothers can see that when you talk to this person, you laugh and you enjoy yourself. But how come you don't laugh when you talk to me? How come we don't laugh when we talk? How come it's always serious? How come I never see your bright side like you show this man your bright side? Sometimes men are jealous of other men and the relationships that they have with each other. Not on no homo stuff, just on the fact that they can be comfortable with each other. Just on the fact that they can be at peace with each other. How come when I come around, your face changes? Because when you come around, you come with what?
War.
War. You come with contention. You come with pride.
Litigation.
You come with litigation. So you don't get the right reaction. You don't get the desired reaction that you see this other people get or other person get. Or even a wife to a husband. How come you smile like that to her? How come you said please and thank you and yes ma'am? How come you just was all courteous to her? Because she spoke nice. You don't do that to me. Because she don't talk to me like you talk to me.
Yeah, that person wouldn't get no tip like that. Huh?
Yeah. Exactly. They'll never get paid. But sometimes we don't see how the reaction from another person could be great. Awesome. But when it comes to me and this person's relationship, it's cold. It's shrewd. It's quick. It's short. It's not elongated. It's not stretched out. The conversation isn't stretched out. It's all business.
Can I say something real quick? It's kind of like said about the people say I'm so depressed. I got so much depression, and depression is a real thing, right? Because you brought up earlier about the heart having issues with the heart, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what's the people that are supposed to bring you out your depression is your friends.
Yeah.
Scripture says a good friend doeth like a medicine.
Yeah.
The friendships and relationships you have around you are the ones that take the blunt and the pain and the heaviness out of your depression. You might have a level 10 depression. You have some good friends, you might have a level 5.
Yeah.
You have a tolerable. Things ain't going so good. But it's not as bad as it could be. But when you have no one to pick you up by, that really understands you can talk to, and really interact with, when you're a mystery to people around you, then your depressions actually last a lot longer.
Scriptures also say a friend cheereth the countenance.
Yep.
Countenance.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. It says a friend cheereth the countenance. That's awesome. You know what that means? That means I don't value what the Most High is putting around me. But I'll sit back and say, it's everybody else's fault. I'll sit back and point the finger.
Ain't no good.
They don't understand me. They don't understand what I'm come with. They don't understand my value. You would be valuable if you put on the ornament that Sarah put on.
Wow. That's true.
If you decorate yourself like Sarah did. And you decorate yourself like Rebecca did. If you put yourself under submission like Hannah, like Ruth,
like David and Jonathan,
like David and Jonathan, even
they had a really good relationship, bro. And their dads were at war. Jonathan's father was at war with David, but Jonathan had a great relationship with David.
Yep.
And vice versa.
They made a soul tie.
Come.
No, I was just gonna say that they love for each other surpassed in a woman.
Yeah, that of a woman.
Which means, I got brother Dale?
Mm-hmm.
What it means that they prefer to this company more than just being up at the house. The company between David and Jonathan, it surpassed love of woman. Not because people like to use that to paint the angle of this homosexuality is okay, right? But their love being surpassing that of a woman just meant that they prefer their company before their women. Yeah. It was really good company, bro.
Yeah, that's G right there.
Yep. That's excellent.
Yeah.
Verse 6 says what?
Ecclesiastes chapter 26 verse 6. But a grief of the heart and sorrow is a woman that is jealous over another woman.
And it's not always over another woman.
It's not.
Sometimes a woman is jealous over the relationship that her husband got with another man. Are you sleeping with him? Is always the question.
Are you tripping, man?
You know what I'm saying?
That's New Ribs.
Yeah.
New Ribs talking crazy like that.
Talking crazy.
New Ribs.
Yeah, that's foolishness.
What kind of brotherhood is this? Y'all
Yeah.
together?
You always laughing on the phone. You know what I'm saying? You don't laugh with me like you laugh with him. You just go, with him.
That's true.
You only say, you don't laugh. I don't make you happy?
Yeah.
I don't make you happy? No, not really. I can't make you smile? Like, no, not really.
Not when you're litigating.
Not when you're at war all the time. Not when there's no peace in the house. Not when there's always contention. Not when your opinion is always present. And you're always questioning my direction. There's no support. You don't support my direction.
No backup.
At least these brothers support they learn how to appreciate they appreciate me, and they support my ideas. Or they'll correct me up my ideas. But they don't crush me. And if they edify me, it's not to tear me down. They edify me to build me up. You edify for the what did it say? It was a definition of.
Yeah, it was
a definition
not
of.
vague. Vengeance, vindictive.
No, it says vindictive affliction.
Oh yeah.
That was the word that he used in the definition.
The worst.
Was that
scourge.
That scourge, that vindictive affliction. Meaning you're intentionally trying to hurt me. These brothers talk to me. They may be checking me because correction is grievous, but they're not trying to destroy me. They're trying to make me better. And sometimes that bothers a wife also. Is the envy that she has towards the relationships that he's built with these other people, because they know how to get the best out of him. Well, you know what? A woman has been blessed with the ability to get the best out of a man too. But it starts with her mouth. You can unlock the keys to a man's heart, but you have to talk to him right. You can unlock the best out of a man, but you got to be in agreement with him. You got to show you support him. You got to get behind them. Well, it's 50-50. You know what I'm saying? We got to be equal partnerships. You know, yes, it is 50-50, but at the same time, there's certain things that a man needs in order for him to be strong.
Wow.
He's already fighting wars outside the house. The last thing he wants to do is fight another one in the house.
You know what's so crazy, bro? What you said earlier? You talking about earlier. You were saying about that a person misses the long term, what they could have long term, for something short term. A short term victory, they'll fight for a small victory now and lose the war later.
Yep.
They'll lose the real blessing later. That means I really don't know. I don't know what to value about.
Yeah, you know what? I got him paying all the bills and or you know, following my schedule that I created, but he's not happy.
You lost the major benefit of being with somebody.
You know, when he's home, his body is home, but his mind is where? His mind is not at home. His mind checked out. He's watching the TV, watch him. Because he's not really watching TV. His body is there, but his mind is somewhere else. Because I don't know how to use the right words, using my speech, to get his mind and his body in the same place where we're conversing and we're on the same page without 5 minutes of a discussion exploding into an argument.
True.
The minute I walk in the door, it's about 2 minutes of peace, and then all the hell breaks loose because there's disappointment and disapproval and skepticism from this person that I'm in a marriage with. Because this person that I'm in a marriage with doesn't know what it means to have. They don't value friendships. So they're always bringing a contest. They're always bringing some alternative point of view or perspective on the way things should be done in the house. Man, a man don't need that. You're not going to get the best out of him. You're not going to warm a man's heart that way. You need to talk to him how his grandma talked to him.
For real.
You better take a page out of his grandma's book. Come here, baby. Come here, little baby. Come here, baby. Come on, you know my grandma, baby. My little baby. You love my little baby. I'm gonna take care of you. Everything gonna be all right, baby. I got you. I done cooked you your favorite soup.
You can't get that brother at the house, huh? Where you at, huh?
Hey, brother, we playing basketball today. I'm gonna stay back.
That's real.
She making that soup that I like.
Can't get mad at him, man.
You know, it's not just that. It's the kindness.
Con.
Give me that in Ecclesiastes real quick.
Yep. Yeah.
In Ecclesiastes chapter 26. Boom, 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 boom.
Kindness, meekness.
No. It says no. It says it shows if
36, 23?
36 and 23.
36,
Yep.
23.
22 first. No, start at verse 21.
Ecclesiastes chapter 36, verse 21. A woman will receive every man, yet is one daughter better than another?
It said, but there is a difference between, a woman will receive any man, but it's telling you that the value of women are different. There's different calibers and qualities of women. What differentiates the quality of a woman?
So it's not talking about curly hair, straight hair,
No.
hips, light skin, dark skin?
No. It said a woman to get a man, but that doesn't mean that all women are the same in quality. It's showing that it's going to get into the differences of a woman and what a woman, how she is different from another woman. What separates her from other women? Read.
Verse 22. The beauty of a woman cheereth the countenance.
And it's not talking about her physique. Because the scripture also says beauty is vain and favor is what?
Deceitful.
It's deceitful. So they ain't talking about her physical beauty. It's going to tell you what makes her beautiful and what makes her different from other women. Read.
And a man loveth nothing better.
And a what?
A man loveth nothing better.
But you simple-minded women think it's in your look. You think it's in your hair. You think it's in your outfit. You think it's in your dress. Yeah, those are aesthetics. But those aren't the meat and potatoes of what a man really loves. When you look at what the meat and potatoes of what a man loves, it's the interior of the woman. There's certain things that you can't see from the outside that really he falls in love with. And it's going to explain. Read.
Verse 23. If there be kindness.
If there be what?
Kindness.
One of the definitions of grace is kindness. As a matter of fact, when you read the Anchor Bible Dictionary, it tells you that in the Hebrew word for kindness or grace, it cannot completely be translated into English. The full meaning of grace. It can't even be completely, for the understanding of the Hebrew word, cannot be completely translated into English. So the best possible word that the English has to offer for what grace really means by definition is kindness. But it actually is bigger than that.
Wow.
It's greater than that. We can't even speak on and translate how wonderful the word grace and the power that's behind it and what it really emphasizes when a person uses it properly. The only English equivalent is kindness. And that's what it says. So, he says, if there be what?
Kindness. Meekness.
If there be what? Kindness.
Meekness.
Another word for kindness is gentleness. Gentleness. If there be kindness or gentleness or grace, read on.
If there be kindness, meekness, and comfort.
And what?
Comfort.
And comfort. Read on.
And her tongue. Then is not her husband like other men.
Because she's different from other women, then her husband is going to be what?
Different from other men.
And he's going to be different from other men. So it's not that all men are dogs. It's not that all men are the same. It's the level of grace, meekness, and kindness that you attribute to this man that makes this man different from all the dogs. That's different from all the cockhounds. That's different from all the man whores.
Yep.
Because this man sees something in you that's valuable that he cannot get nowhere else. Because you know what he knows? Although the other one may look better on the physical, she don't have what?
She
don't have kindness. She don't have gentleness. She doesn't have meekness.
She's not a comfort.
And she don't know how to really make me comfortable. See, women don't value the actual tools that the Most High gave them to get the best out of a man. You think it's your makeup. You silly.
They get rich off that too.
Yeah.
Everybody's getting rich off of our lack of understanding.
Yeah. You think it's your outfit? You silly. You don't know how to get the best of a man. You don't know what really turns a man on and what a man really needs and what he's missing. That's the problem. I'm not valuing the right thing. That's why I said, you better talk to him like his grandma did. Because y'all could have a date. He'd be like, I gotta go. I'm sorry, baby. I gotta go see my grandma. I gotta go see Nana. I gotta go see Mammy, or whatever you want to call her. Abuelita. I gotta go see Abuelita. You know what? Why you always? Because you know what? She know how to talk to me. That's why. Because I'm always grandma's baby, no matter what. She always know how to make me feel better. What's wrong, baby? She knows it from the jump. What's wrong, baby? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with grandma's baby? Oh, give me some sugar. You know what? You go home and you the devil. You go home and it's all your fault. Everything's your fault. Even when you weren't home, it's your fault. But a woman don't know how to activate the heart of a man. So go back to where we was at in before that in Ecclesiastes chapter 26 verse 6. Read that one more time.
Ecclesiastes chapter 26 verse 6. But a grief of heart and sorrow is a woman that is jealous over another woman.
Yeah, because another woman, she knows how to talk. She knows what to say. She knows how to make him smile, not frown. But you could too, if you check yourself. You could too if you read the Bible and you use the virtues that the Most High has in store for you to use to get the best out of this man. Read on.
And a scourge of the tongue, which
we know that was a whip. Go ahead.
Which communicated with all.
So yes, there will be hell to have to live in a relationship with a person that uses their tongue as a weapon, as an instrument to punish you. And they communicate that with everybody. It's not just that man, it's everybody. I deal like this with everybody. 1 Corinthians 15 and 33. So it's my mouth that's the problem. And this is not just a woman thing. This is a man thing too.
Yeah. 15 to 33.
Mm-hmm.
1 Corinthians chapter 15 and verse 33. Be not deceived.
Definition of deceive, to cast astray. Write this down real quick. We're just going to run through this real quick. It says what?
Be not deceived.
To cast astray, to lead from the truth. I said be not deceived, or to cast astray or lead from the truth. Write that down. It says be not deceived, to cast astray or lead from the truth. Read on.
Evil communication.
The word evil means of bad nature, of thinking, feeling, or acting. Write that down. Evil. Of a bad nature of thinking, feeling, or acting. Write that down. Evil. We're in 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 33. So he said, be not deceived, to cause to stray or to lead away from the truth. He says what?
Communications.
No, just read it again.
Be not deceived.
Go ahead.
Evil communication.
It says evil. Evil is of bad nature, of a mode of thinking, feeling, or acting. You have a bad nature. It's a bad nature of feeling, thinking, or acting. It says evil what?
Communication.
Communication means intercourse or companionship. Write that down. I want you to write the definition because we're going to put it all together. So from the top, 1 Corinthians 15 and 33 says what?
Be not deceived.
It says don't go astray or to lead away from the truth. Go ahead.
Evil.
Stop. It says evil, meaning of a bad nature, of a mode of thinking, feeling, or acting. Go ahead.
Communications.
Communications means intercourse or companionship. Go ahead.
Corrupt.
Corrupt. Go ahead.
Good manners.
Manners means virtuous dwelling or a customary abode. So that means a what? A house. Your dwelling place. So with the simple breaking down of these words, he's telling you that what? You can go astray or lead away from the truth because of a bad nature of thinking, feeling, or acting. Go ahead.
You want to read from the top?
Well, I wanted you to follow.
Keep reading.
Where was that? Yeah.
Be not deceived. Evil communications.
Evil communications. Evil. Bad nature of mode of thinking, feeling, or acting. Communication. Intercourse or companionship.
Corrupt. Good manners.
Corrupt a virtuous dwelling. Because manners means a virtuous dwelling in this particular Greek word. It means a virtuous dwelling. Meaning, don't be deceived. Don't be led astray from the truth. Your bad nature of how you think, feel, or act, and how you have companionship with people will corrupt a good house. Make sense? That's what he's saying right here. You destroy a virtuous dwelling place because you're led astray. You don't realize that your bad manners, the way you interact with people, the way you have intercourse or companionship with people is corrupted because of the way you think, act, or feel. That's how the house is thrown up in array. That's how the house is broken apart. Do we understand that? That's the understanding of what it would mean, what it would say in Greek if you was to read that in Greek. Don't lie to yourself. It's your nature, your bad nature, and how you interact with people that corrupts the good dwelling place. What should have been a virtuous dwelling place. We understand that? So, with that, let's go to what you said earlier. I like what you said earlier. Go to Psalms chapter 33, verse 15.
Psalms chapter 33 and verse 15. He fashioneth their hearts alike.
So if I give myself to the Most High's way of doing things, if I adopt the fear of the Lord, and if I start reading what it takes to be the best person for me to be in a friendship or relationship or to have companionship with people, the Most High said he will do what?
He considereth all their works.
He says he fashioneth their what?
Their hearts alike.
Meaning he'll create a situation where you're at one with the people around you if you choose to do things the way the Most High wants things done. He'll fashion your heart alike with the people around you if you execute his deeds, his pleasure, if you execute his laws and his commandments. If you treat people accordingly, you will make a strong connection with people. You will have friends. You will have like-minded individuals. He'll bless your companionship. He'll bless your relationships. But it's only contingent upon how and what the way you choose to act, how you behave, how you execute your feelings. 1 Peter chapter 3.
Is that emotional discipline?
Yeah, emotional, verbal, but it all comes from the thoughts too. Psychological discipline. I put a door in my mouth. I choose to hold back things that could be damaging and what I could say to a person. 1 Peter chapter 3 verse 5. We started here at 1 Peter. We're almost done. 1 Peter chapter 3 verse 5. Read that.
1 Peter chapter 3 verse 5. For after this manner in the old time the holy women also who trust in the Most High adorn themselves.
These women adorn themselves with kindness. These women adorn themselves with meekness.
That's the real decorating.
That's the real treasures, the real value. That's the real pearls, gold, silver, diamonds, rubies, emeralds. Those things are really valuable, especially in a friendship or a marriage, is the fact that you know how to talk to people. You know how to treat people.
Trustworthy.
You're trustworthy. You know how to comfort people with your tongue. You're not at odds with everybody around you. Read on.
Being in subjection unto their own husbands.
Go ahead.
even as Sarah obeyed Abraham,
Go ahead.
calling him Lord,
Read.
whose daughters ye are.
It says you're the daughters of Sarah. So how should you be conducting yourself?
Like Sarah.
Like Sarah.
Even if Sarah.
Read on.
As long as ye do well,
As long as you do well. Read.
and are not afraid with any amazement.
Go ahead. And you're not afraid with any amazement. Go ahead.
Verse 7. Likewise, ye husbands,
Now there's a responsibility on the man as well. Now a lot of this we've been talking about is what it takes for a woman to get the best out of her husband. But a man has responsibilities too. Now even though we're not gonna this sometimes I don't know how people interpret this class, but even though we've been talking about what it takes to get the best out of a man for about the last hour, we're only gonna talk about what it takes for a man for about 15 minutes. But for somehow brothers are gonna say, man, you put it all on the man to change. No, I did not. The scriptures did not put it on. Do y'all feel like it's all on the man? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Or do you feel like women have to play a major role in the union of a marriage? It's a major change on both sides.
It's two people.
It's both sides. But for some reason brothers be like, man, you made it hard for us.
Yeah, I just want my plate.
Yeah.
I just want my plate, huh?
I don't know how. But it's not biased. There's a role that must be played in a marriage on both behalves. For a woman, she must understand what grace is. She must understand the power behind kindness. She must understand the power behind comfort and meekness and the value of it, and to decorate herself with that. Not to use her tongue as a weapon. That's a woman's responsibility. You'll have a better marriage if you do so. And same thing with men when it comes to brotherhood. I'm not always at variance with the men around me. I'm not always at odds and contention with the men around me. I'm not always bringing my opinion to the table. I learn how to be agreeable. But for a man, in a marriage in particular, go ahead.
Likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge.
Go ahead.
Giving honor unto the wife, as unto the weaker vessel.
So what does that mean? What does that mean, giving honor to the wife and recognizing her as the weaker vessel? What does that mean?
Like being gentle.
Being patient with her.
You have to be understanding. You have to be understanding. You have to be patient. Now, in Luke chapter 6, verse 36, it says what?
Luke chapter 6, verse 36.
Keep holding this over.
Yeah, keep holding that.
It says, be ye merciful, as your Father is also merciful.
It says, be ye what?
Merciful, as your Father also is merciful.
So as for a woman's responsibility, she has to take on the nature of Sarah. For a man, we have to take on the nature of Christ. And put on the attributes of Christ and the Most High. That's who we must follow. Everybody's following somebody. Women must follow Sarah's example. Men must follow Christ's example and the Most High's example. So he says in Luke 6 and 36, he says what?
Luke 6 and verse 36. Be ye therefore merciful, as your Father also is merciful.
And so now understanding that, read that again in 1 Peter chapter 3 verse 7.
1 Peter chapter 3 verse 7. Likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge, giving honor unto the wife as unto the weaker vessel.
Recognizing that they're the what?
Weaker vessel.
So what is it going to take dealing with the weaker vessel?
More understanding. Huh?
We just read it in Luke.
Mercy.
It's going to take more mercy. It's going to take a lot more mercy for a man to deal with a woman because she is more weaker in certain attributes, emotionally. For a woman, she has to kind of see things in order for her to follow it. We can kind of just believe it and know that it'll work. But a woman's like, well, how are we going to pay this? I don't know. I don't see how this is going to happen. So, but what's crazy is sometimes women got more faith than men.
That's the crazy part.
But that's another topic. But he said, but recognizing that a woman is a weaker vessel, so for a man, it takes more mercy. And you got to put on the mercy of the Most High. So what mercy does the Most High have? Go to Exodus chapter 34 and read verse 6. Because this is what it takes to be married. You got to put on the mind of the Most High. Go to Exodus chapter 34 And read verse 6.
Exodus chapter 34, verse 6.
Start at verse 5.
Mm-hmm.
Exodus chapter 34, verse 5. And the
Hold on, let
most
everybody get it. We're in Exodus chapter 34, verse 5. All right, read that.
and the Most High descended in the cloud
It says the Most High came down from a cloud. Read on.
and stood with him there,
That was Moses. He stood next to Moses. Go ahead.
and proclaimed the name of the Most High.
And the Most High came down out of a cloud and stood next to Moses and told Moses what his name is. He said, "This is my name." Read on.
And the Most High passed by him and proclaimed the Most High.
It says, and proclaimed, he said, the Lord, he says,
Okay.
read it like that. He says,
Okay.
and proclaimed what?
And proclaimed Lord, the Lord, the Lord.
He said, this is my name, Moses. He says, the Lord, go ahead.
Merciful and gracious.
What did the Most
Wow.
High say his name is?
Merciful and gracious.
He said, this is what I want you to recognize me as. This is what I want you to call me. This is who I am. He said, he proclaimed to Moses, he said, the Lord, merciful and what?
Merciful and gracious, long-suffering, and abundant in goodness and truth.
So what is it going to take for a man to be married? Read that again.
Abundant in mercy and truth.
You got to. It says the scripture said in Luke, "Be ye merciful as the Most High is merciful." You got to adopt this. You got to adopt the Most High's attributes. If you're gonna make a marriage work, you got to operate like the Most High operates. And what did the Most High say how He operates? Read it again.
Merciful and gracious, long-suffering, and abundant in goodness and truth.
Go ahead.
Keeping mercy for thousands.
He says, and I got enough mercy to pass to thousands of people, meaning I never run out of mercy. So for a man to be married, he can't run out of mercy. And this is where it says, husbands, be not bitter against who?
Your wives.
Your wives. The way you get bitter with them is you run out of mercy. Then if you're running out of mercy, you're not following who?
Most High.
You're not following the Most High. If you're running out of graciousness, if you're running out of long suffering, you're not following who?
Most High.
You're not following the Most High. Just like a woman, she's running her mouth wrong, she's not following Sarah. So a man, both parties have responsibilities. A man can't run out of mercy and get bitter. Because that's when men get bitter, they don't want to deal with them properly. They're not pure anymore to the person that I'm supposed to be married to. They're not pure in my sight. Well, guess what? You're not pure in the Most High's sight, but He's still merciful. Most High said your righteousness are as filthy what? Rags. But He's still gracious. He's still kind to you. So man got it twisted. But he can't give what the Most High gives him. That's what makes a man hypocritical. Because you can't give what you've been receiving from the Most High this whole time. Read on.
It says, keeping mercy for thousands, forgiving iniquity and transgressions and sin.
It say He's been forgiven transgressions. He's been forgiven sins. All the dirt you've done, and the Most High been letting you slide. All the foolishness that you've been doing. But as soon as a woman do something, she's the devil. She's wicked. Shit, you wicked.
All together.
Yeah. But you're supposed to extend to them the same thing that's being extended to you.
Come.
Read on.
And that will by no means clear the guilty.
And by no means, meaning the Most High, you're still going to suffer. You're not going to just operate without a recourse. Read on.
Visiting the iniquities of the fathers upon the children, and upon the children's children, unto the third and to the fourth generation.
Yeah.
And what happens is we teach our bad relationship skills to our children's children's children.
Yep.
We keep these cycles going up.
We're the ones that keep it going. Broken homes. Broken relationships.
We pass them down. We complain about our parents were had crazy houses, and our parents such and such, and they wasn't there, and they didn't do it right, and I'm a product of a broken home, and then we go ahead and pass all that down to our children.
Yep. Ephesians chapter 5 verse 20.
Ephesians chapter 5 and verse 20.
Read that.
Ephesians chapter 5 and verse 20. Giving thanks always for all things unto the Most High, the Father, in the name of our Lord, Yahushua.
Read on.
Submitting yourselves one to another.
He says in a marriage you're going to be doing what?
Submitting yourselves one to another.
In a friendship you're going to be doing what?
Submitting yourselves one to another.
In a church you're going to be doing what?
Submitting yourselves one to another.
Go ahead.
In the fear of the Most High.
Because I fear the Most High. Because I fear the Most High, and I recognize that He's been giving me mercy. He's been giving me grace. He's been giving me kindness. It's only fair that I give it. It's only right. Because I fear the Most High, that's why. Read on.
Verse 22. Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands, as unto the Lord.
So you got to start talking, you got to start practicing. As you talk to your husband, imagine the Most High standing right there. And ask yourself, would you still use that same selection of words?
It's crazy, bro.
Because that's how you got to look and talk to your husband. You got to look and speak to him as if you're talking to the Most High. So you should put some respect on his name. Read on.
Verse 23. For the husband is the head of the wife.
Because the Most High said the husband is what?
The head of the wife.
Read on.
Even as Christ is the head of the church.
So just like Christ is the head of the church, the husband is the head of the wife. Read on.
And he is the savior of the body.
So the Most High put it to where the man, if you're joined to him and he has pleasure to dwell with you, that even if you don't believe, you can still be saved. Read.
Therefore, as the church is subject unto Christ.
And that's how powerful the man is. Read on.
So let the wives be to their own husbands in everything.
He says, so the greatest parallel in a marriage is that your marriage should reflect the love of Christ has for the church. That's how your household marriage should look. That's the kind of spirit that needs to be present within your marriage. The same parallel or reflection that of what Christ did for the church, the amount of lengths, the amount of patience, the amount of sacrifices, the amount of dedication that Christ had for the church is the same amount of dedication, sacrifices, patience, and mercy you should have for your wife. And the wife to the husband. Your household should reflect that amount of love, that same level of love. Did Christ give up on the church?
No.
Did he say, man, I'm not going through this? You want me to die for these people? No, not me. Even though he didn't deserve it, he still submitted himself to it. He's showing you this is what it takes to have a happy house too. Your house should reflect the sacrifices of Christ and what he did for the church. Read on.
Verse
Meaning
20.
you don't have the right to quit on each other because Christ didn't quit on you. Read on.
Ephesians chapter 5 verse 25. Husbands, love your wives even as Christ also loved the church.
He says, husbands, love your wives even as what?
Even as Christ also loved the church.
Your marriage should look like the love of Christ to the church. That's how your marriage should look. You should be mimicking the love of Christ in your household. But that is not the love of Christ in your household. I don't know what the hell to call what be going on in people's households. But that's not the love of Christ. It's fight night. I don't understand. Royal Rumble. I don't understand what's going on in there. The People's Court. I don't know what's going on in your house. But that is not the love of Christ in your house.
Crazy.
Read on.
And gave himself for it.
And sacrificed himself for it. That's how you as far as a man, you know what, it's gonna be some sacrifices to stay happily married. And I gotta look at them as the weaker vessel. And one definition of grace is this. Read this right here.
Grace. In both secular and theological usage, grace revolves the movement of a superior to an inferior.
It's the relationship that a superior has to an inferior. Read on.
Of the powerful to the weak.
Of the Most High is looking in a marriage. How are you dealing as a husband being the powerful? How are you dealing with your wife, which is the weak? Go ahead.
Provoked by love.
And what? How do you know grace is in the house? Because it's provoked by what?
Love.
Love is in the house. What else?
Or pity.
That's how you know a man is dealing with this woman according to she being the weaker vessel, because he has pity for her. He has love for her. Read on.
On the part of the superior.
On the part of who?
On the love or pity. On the part of the superior.
So a man that's married to a woman is supposed to have love and pity because he's the what?
The superior.
He's the superior. So he should have grace like a woman should have grace. It's just that his grace is a little different. Her grace is in her speech, in her kindness, in her tongue. His grace is in the fact that he has pity on her and that he loves her and he's patient with her. But they both have to have grace. Yes, sir.
And like Scripture, giving her that honor, you're giving her that dignity to you're elevating her mind.
Right, because you're teaching her.
Come.
Read on.
And need.
Because she needs it. She needs your mercy. She needs your pity. But she also needs your love, not your bitterness. Men are bitter. Men are petty. Men are so damn petty. You piss me off. So now you don't have no pity on her?
I don't care what happens to her, right?
Yeah, you don't care if she out in the cold?
Wow.
We're peevish.
Now, she got, and 9 times out of 10, she got the kids. And you really don't give a damn. See, that's what the Most High is looking at on a man's behalf when it's his time to perform what the Bible calls grace. Hold that and go to Colossians 3 and 12 real quick. Hold that. We're gonna come right back to this definition and that verse. Colossians 3 and 12.
Colossians chapter 3 and verse 12. Put on therefore, as the elect of the Most High, holy and beloved, bowels of mercy.
You're supposed to put on an extensive amount of what?
Mercies.
You should have bucket loads of mercy. Read on.
Kindness.
You should have bucket loads of what?
Kindness.
Read on.
Humbleness of mind.
You should have bucket loads of what?
Humbleness of mind.
Read on.
Meekness.
You should have a whole lot of what?
Meekness.
Read on.
Long suffering.
You should have a whole lot of what?
Long suffering.
You should have an extensive amount of this. Read on.
Forbearing one another.
And you should have the ability to put up with each other. Go ahead.
And forgiving one another.
It says forbearing one another and what?
Forgiving one another.
So you should have forgiveness on tap. This is what it's going to take to be married. And that's a man's grace to his wife. Because she is the weaker vessel. They both have a responsibility. A man just can't quit on a woman just because she ain't what he wants her to be. Yeah, we done.
Yeah.
Read on.
If any man have a quarrel against any, even as Christ forgave you.
It says even as what?
Even as Christ forgave you.
So husband's responsibility is to forgive a woman even as what?
Christ forgave you. So also do ye.
So also what?
Do ye.
So finish that definition right there of grace on a man's behalf.
Superior and need on the part of
read it one more time from here.
Okay.
Read it from here, right here.
Okay, got you.
Involves.
It says involves the movement of a superior to an inferior, of the powerful to the weak, provoked by love or pity on the part of the superior and need on the part of the inferior.
Because the inferior needs it. The inferior needs your compassion.
It's true.
The inferior needs your love.
Mm-hmm.
The inferior needs your bowels of compassion, your mercy, and the ability to forbear their foolishness, to put up with their ignorance or their weakness. Now finish that in Ephesians, and we're done. Ephesians chapter 5, and finish that where we were in Ephesians.
Ephesians chapter 5, verse 25. Husbands, love your wives, even as Christ also loved the church, and gave himself for it, that he might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of water by the word.
And how did Christ clean the church?
By washing of water by the word.
You got to teach your wife like Christ taught the church. The water is the word of God. So that's how you're supposed to instruct your household and maintain your marriage. You're supposed to teach them the instructions of the Most High. And that's how you keep your marriage pure. That's how you keep your wife pure. You keep teaching her. So with that, that's the end of this topic as far as the marriage, make it last. We got a whole different topic coming soon. But if there's any questions, rewind the tape. Go back on YouTube. It's on YouTube. Check it out. All right. So with that, we're going to go ahead and say shalom. The weather's bad, so drive safe. Be careful on the road.
Take side streets if you got to.
Yeah, the highways may be closed.
Access road.
Yeah, so be careful on the way home. All right. So with that, shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom. We're not going to send no prayers up.